love and marriage go together like a carabao and trike. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, it's a life you can't get rid of. Ask the local Filipinos here, and they will say his elementary. Try to separate them. It's an illusion. Try, and you will only come to this conclusion. I love and marriage go together like a carabao and trike. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Life isn't easy with Heidi, American wife, so uptight. George tries, but sometimes cries, but they love each other. You cannot deny a married life like no other. Love and marriage go together like a carabao and.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. Hey, K Dallas. Trying to find. Can you see who's in there? They're not up on the screen here. Good morning. Good morning.
It's my eyes. I told you.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying I don't have the list here.
I understand
I've got
that,
the list for
but
today.
I'm trying to read and I'm having a hard time.
Okay.
I am.
All right. I'm sorry you're having a hard time.
And,
Who else we got in the house? Hey, Harry Walsh.
well, that's what I'm saying. I can read blobs. I mean, Scott and Isaac's World. Hey, Scott, how you doing, man? MB, Sarah Tyson,
Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Philippine Prepping. Hey, Raymond, Slick Rick,
Yeah, the
K
actual
Dallas.
the software
Hey,
does
Harry.
not show me the computer restarted right before the live, and so it wipes out anybody that left previous comments. And George has got the actual live open. Today we are going to cover a dating guide, a topic that we've talked about before, and we're wanting to cover it on both sides as far as the dating in an expat view and Filipino view, being we're a Filipino expat couple. And also, there was an entire discussion in an expat forum on Facebook that left hundreds of comments in regards to this guy that asked people on advice. And he's like, basically, it does seem like the same thing where Filipinas end up doing the expats wrong. And me and George was discussing this, that we also feel that the expats themselves lead themselves into that bear trap. And so it's somewhere between poverty and desperation on both sides that could be causing this. And we're going to go through some of the comments. And recently, I think I've got a photo of 2 or 3 homeless expats, and each one of them have a story. I'm not going to use the girls' footage to bring them up. It's the same story. Most of them say the Filipina. I think all 3 stories say that the Filipina takes their paperwork and destroys it or throws it out. And she gets mad. They drain the accounts. They take the ATM, because a lot of these guys get out in the province or other places, and they actually rely on the Filipina to take their card. Ones that they're not even married to. They've only known for a few months, and they have them go out and take money out of their ATM because they don't want to go out in the heat. They don't want to go out and do all the legwork for it. And they go to these ATMs and they take extra money every time. Or in the end, they find out their account's been drained. And I don't know why they don't look online for it. I don't know what the deal or what. Maybe they just ignore, maybe they just don't check. But that's what we're dealing with and going to discuss today. So, hey, baby.
Well, since Heidi mentioned it,
Hey, Scott. Here, try this.
somewhat part of the topic, and it may seem like it's not part of the topic, but hold on.
Tell me what you think of that. That's that Starbucks powder.
No, it's good. Now here, that's actually really good.
No, we ended up.
Now, here's the thing. This actually happened
Still in the
yesterday.
doghouse.
Heidi, I live there with the kiddies. But anyway, um, now here's the thing. Heidi showed me a TikTok, and it was an expat guy, and it was in Filipino. And Heidi shows it to me. It's like, what's the story with this? And I looked at it and listened to it, and I told Heidi, how about we do this? I said, why don't you guess what happened, and I'll tell you if you're right. And I didn't even try because you already knew the story. The story is, expat gets swindled by the Filipino, yada yada. Same old story. Now, what I was getting at is because Heidi mentioned
Hey, Scott. Good morning.
mentioned the ATM. This is somewhat
Mhm.
off, but not really off topic. The point is doesn't matter who you are, what you are, what relationship you're in, whether you're in the West or here
Yeah, it
or
could
whatever
happen there
country,
too.
it can
Yeah,
happen anywhere.
with an
In
age
the
gap
end,
and money gap.
right, the one getting swindled, you still have to remember they still have responsibility to themselves. And what I was getting at is,
Guilt or non-guilt.
put it this way, and I'm not gonna mention the guy's name, but a guy over here, handily gave his card and his PIN number to the katulong. And
Explain what that is.
the maid or helper, whatever. Point being is,
Mhm.
now, did something bad happen? No. However, it could have.
Here's the thing. I know about that because with me being disabled and sick most of the days, barely having any energy, I do rely on George to go out and do these things. Do I go out and get my own money and do things? The answer is yes. So I know that I'm in that spot. I'm married to George. It's just a good thing that we've been together 6, 7 years and that we lived in the US together. And even if you think you know somebody, shit can still flip on you. I'm sorry. It's kind of
Right.
like us.
Right.
Nobody ever stays the same in a relationship. So when you have a man and a woman, you're like, oh, I wish they were the way when we got married, wish she was skinny, and I wish he was skinny, and I wish we were banging like we used to. You can never go back to that person the original person will never ever be there. We're always ever evolving. The same with the Filipina, the same with the expat. Usually sometimes she gets more desperate, gets more cranky. The boyfriend slash husband gets more cranky, gets sicker. Things are ever evolving in the relationship, and it's how it actually ends up. And sometimes, honestly, breakups need to happen. Some of these guys should have got out a long time ago, but I'm telling you, even as I feel it, there's a form of desperation here on all sides, whether it's the Filipina, whether it's the expat. I'm 9,000 miles from home. And to pay out a plane ticket, go home, start over the expenses, or live with a family member for a while or a friend or something, kind of put you on a different keel of, is it worth arguing today? Is it worth doing this? Is it worth being alone? And you start going through these things. You're no longer in Kansas anymore, which is the truth. So
Well,
I think it puts a desperation on the expats and then the
there's
Filipinas.
that's
And expats tend to hold the money over the Filipinas' heads.
that.
Most of them aren't working. They're the caretakers. They end up impregnating them if they can. We discuss the desperateness of like the relationship that most of these Filipinos are 18 and 20. And even if these guys look like shit and they're missing an arm or a leg or they're drooling or half their face is missing. And I've seen these couples on TikToks, and you got all kinds of strange couples here. Even me and George is a strange couple. But the whole point is everybody needs love, and even these Filipinas are desperate for attention. So it's probably sex fiends, sexed up in the beginning, and they're whatever. Understand these guys need that little blue pill. A lot of them can only go once a day. Some of them could go twice a day, maybe. But the whole point is these girls are desperate, and they get on these dating sites. They're sleeping with other men and they want that attention, and these guys are withdrawing that attention. They can't do it all the time, and then expats all have weird quirks, so it's all kinds of things going on at once. And then boom, it's things like this where she steals the passport, rips it up, takes his money, and they end up homeless.
All right. Well, first off, let me put things out of the way real quick. One, it's better to live in misery with all your shit rather than living in misery out on the street. Okay? Remember that.
Mm-hmm. Wait a little bit for a minute. So just for a second while we do this, this guy here is from Ireland. That's exactly what happened to him. She took all of his money. He's actually here in our area, like literally here in Mavalacat. And the carry girl came by and she's helping him. Now, I don't understand why immigration took his passport recently. I don't know why immigration knows he's here and then withdrew it. Even if he owed money and he was behind, why didn't they hold him himself regardless of it? They said they held his passport because he was being scammed by a Filipino, which didn't sound right to me. Something's really off on that story.
Yeah, I don't know enough about immigration, but here's the thing, and I'm not going against anybody in particular, but one, if immigration took your passport, it's just cause.
Here's an American. He's over in Manila. He's claiming he's totally disabled. Same thing. Filipino took his money and his papers. So, and when we seen so many of them, it was the same thing. This guy here had millions of pesos when he arrived in Angeles City. Looks like he lost his teeth in that relationship too. Sorry. So, anyways, he must have pawned those. But Spain, I believe he's a Hispanic national. I believe they said she said he was from Spain or Argentina. But the deal is with this guy, same thing. Money, everything with this relationship. Set her up in the beginning really well. And this is the story. These men tend to give away everything in their heart and everything, and they lose their mind along with their ding ling 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 wake up. So and that's what happened to this guy. Lost everything. She couldn't believe he had millions. Understand, I believe per million it's 20,000 US. What is a million in Filipino? I think that's 100,000. How much is a million? 100?
I don't know.
Well, you have to calculate. But he had a couple million, so I believe that's my math is way off. Okay, yeah. So it's about 19,000 per million. And he brought about 40 or 60,000 US with him. And to a Filipino, when you say a million, it's a lot of money, which it is. But this guy had blown through it. Sorry, guys. Really, really quick. So, but in regards to this, we have hundreds of comments of people how they feel about avoiding this. It's coming in from Filipinos and expats. So we'll go through those in a little bit.
Yeah, but real quick again about that guy who the immigration allegedly took his passport.
Yeah, sorry.
Again, I'm not again arguing with what happened. The question is why. For those of you wondering, like maybe he did something. I don't think he did something, and that's why they're holding his passport. Because otherwise, if he did,
Speaking of ugly
he
and
wouldn't
desperate.
be wild and free. If that makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he did anything criminal or anything like that.
Hi, Peter. Yeah.
So that's not why they're holding it.
But
So
it's just weird that they would. If
right,
there
right.
was something going on, they
So
would have kept him. And I'm sure he hasn't
right,
paid
and
because
again,
he's
I'm
broke right
no
now.
immigration
So I don't know
expert.
why.
Now you can't also say overstaying because it's possible they will hold it for overstaying. Yes, but
Good morning, Mike.
that it's kind of like a roundabout way of holding somebody in the country. But anyway,
I'm surprised they just didn't hold him like they did. Now, a more realistic approach on why his passport is missing. Again, I'm not arguing with what happened or not. It's possible that either the ex destroyed it, or the passport is lost. She said that because there's a scam going on, they held it, and that immigration won't release it. But I'm still thinking, see, if they're going to do that, on the very far end of it, which I don't think is happening, the reason being is the only other time that most immigration would confiscate your passport if it's fake. Papa says but I don't think so. The Carrie girl, she is an angel of the Philippines. There's a mixed bag on her. I like her. We were supposed to have her on the show, and then she was supposed to come in later, came in early. Me and George was at it that morning, and then we didn't have her on. We've been following her. She's been coming in town a few times. For me, I think she's doing a great job. But you'll get a bunch of Filipinos that want to know why she's not. There's tons of Filipinos to help that are homeless right now. And her ideal is to do this, and then you'll get the opinions that have poured through on both sides that she is doing it for money. That she's doing that because expats bring in more sympathy and all that. But I feel she's doing a good job. So no, she travels a lot and goes out of her way. And hey, she found her niche like other channels. You got Filipinas that do nothing but expat stuff. They use the dating, the sex, the hookups. Look at this person, they're 19 years old, they dance in bikinis. So, at least she's doing something. It's not like these other guys that are running GoFundMe's that are, and not showing they're doing anything. They do these videos for a while, they do the GoFundMe's, they collect, and then you don't see anything. She's showing it. She gives away the phone, she hooks them up like Patai, she takes them into Rocky Tufel. She travels. So she's doing her thing. So I praise her, and hopefully she'll give us a second chance and she'll come on the show again. So yeah, speaking of Rafi Tufel, Joseph Relford says get Rafi Tufel. Now the thing with Rafi Tufel again, a lot of people aren't aware that he doesn't really help everybody, and I don't mean that in a bad way. What I'm saying is he gets a flood of people, so he can't help everybody, and he'll help. Sometimes he'll help out expats, but he concentrates mostly on Filipinos for the most part. If you watch his show, I'm sure you guys noticed. And the expats he does help, it's because they can do something about it. If that makes any sense. So what I'm saying is, me and Heidi have had, actually more Heidi has contacted Rafi Tufo, and they'll get back with us and all that. But that's the end of it. If that makes any sense. And what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure that with all the ones that we've shown you on just now, I'm pretty sure he's been contacted about all these expats. Because again, first off, he gets a flood of them, and I'm pretty sure if one of you guys or girls, that happens to you, if I'm sure you would contact them too, but that doesn't necessarily mean he will, respond and help right away. I mean, she's doing her thing, but here's the thing: let's not get into that spot to begin with. We're still dealing a little bit with the Kelly guy, still trying to get his hip replaced. The doctor that's supposed to do it is a week away. He's fighting to get blood and blood work still. So I guess his wife has been waiting hours at Red Cross to go get blood to do the surgery. They don't bring the surgery to the public hospital. The wife's got to go pick up the blood, which it seems odd to the Western people like me in America to picture George standing in line in America waiting to bring blood in. The hospitals do that. Now, maybe in a private hospital, what's wrong? We have a sound? What's wrong?
Okay, is that better?
Yeah,
You
no,
had
no,
to say something.
no. I guess a button got hit. It's kind of weird, but anyway.
Sound like we're in a tunnel. So, anyways, so he's being helped. He's still trying to complete the 4,000 that's needed. A lot of our people had made contributions to Kelly. And it's like there's been positive and negative on that. But that was a total accident, which, hey, accidents are going to happen here in the Philippines. They're like, yeah, you should have insurance, you should have money. Coulda, woulda, shoulda situation. But the guy's sitting there with a broken hip. He can't move. He can't fly back. The military's not going to come get him. The government's not going to come get him. He actually needs help. And looks like his sister currently is trying to get an additional loan to try to cover this, but he's still been sitting there. And in the meantime, it cost a couple thousand a day just for medicine. So anywhere between $20 to $60, depending on what they give him. And he's been in there. So he just recently paid one of the bills and now he's waiting to do that. So money problems do come up and about. Buddha Boo said, unfortunately, many people can not see the freeway overpass ending because they are busy crashing through the barricades. Yeah, I think the guys get here, they take off. That's a good scenario. Is that I think it, but that would be like that in the beginning of a lot of relationships. You're busy smoothing over things with each other. You're love bombing both sides. You're buying gifts, your poetry, you're taking them out to eat, you're banging, you bang, 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 and everything's going on that seems smooth the first couple months. And then you get into everyday life. No relationship is easy. It gets tough, it's hard. You have to have sacrifices on both sides. You have to be on the same team. It's not easy. And then you add in the biggest thing that I can see that's going on here is maturity and jealousy with Filipinos, male or female. I see a lot of maturity issues, a lot of money problems, a lot of desperation. Not every Filipino, but it seems to be these ones that these guys that this is coming up and about. It's like it's easy picking. They pick the province girls, which they definitely feel are the nice ones. And what I'm hearing right now from most of them, that is some of the most wickedest women that are out there. It's like they've been scheming and planning out in the woods or something. I don't know. That's what I keep hearing is that the province girls are what's being told to go after, and then it turns out you all think they're innocent out there. They're not being groomed by their own families to do this, or this isn't, where people they talk. These women sit around and talk about the foreigners. So it's you guys are walking right into a bear trap sometimes. Don't want to talk about your own countrymen now? I see you processing.
Well, that's somewhat. I wouldn't say racist because it's not racist; it's classist. And I'm not. What do you mean? It's not fair to all province girls, and it's not
Not
fair.
all of them. The ones we're
I
talking
understand that, but what I'm saying is
about. Not all.
that's what I'm saying.
And if people don't, I mean,
I wouldn't say. I would say even. I wouldn't even say most province girls. I wouldn't even say that because there's a lot of really good people out there, and it has nothing to do of where they're living. You know.
well, specifically, I'm talking about these homeless guys that got their shit ripped up. They're immature girls that were scheming to begin with. Can they get pissed off and just do it and take their money anyways? Yeah, but they were bad to begin with. Those are the people we're talking about today. I am not putting a label. I shouldn't even have to sit here and explain to each person's brain that we're not talking about every single Filipino. Maybe I should have put up a whatever, but I'm not gonna. We're talking about a specific topic today, so that's a fill you in situation for you guys. It's I said that it doesn't mean it's every single Filipino.
No, I
We're
know that,
talking about
but
this group today.
I get that, but what I'm saying is you have to remember when you put a label on a statement, people overgeneralize because to be honest with you, the city girls are worse when it comes to schemes than the province girls.
I want to make sure
You know
because
what I'm
he said it
saying?
was a total different voice. I want
No,
to make sure it's
no,
still
that's already fixed. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if you want an elaborate, you know,
okay. It's okay to say it on the
scam,
side, sure.
the city girls will come up with it. The
If
province
I
girl.
wasn't
Well, what I'm getting at is, if a province girl scams you, they're usually more simple. If that makes any sense. Now they'll probably get you for what you're worth. I mean, they'll probably ask you again. But here's the thing, guys. It's generic. What I'm saying, it's the same old story. They'll ask you for again load, and then they'll ask for a load, and they'll ask you for a little bit of money, and then their family's getting sick, and then after that, they'll say they love you, they want to marry you, and then they'll buy you a house. No, it's really a pattern.
just don't feel that dating a province girl is going to avoid all
Well,
this. Most bar girls are the province girls.
if a
They come
woman
off the
asks you for
province, their
load,
parents send them in willingly. They come in and become bar
yeah,
girls.
if a girl asks you for load, drop them. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the start of it.
Yeah,
Because any self-respecting woman, doesn't matter what country they're in, they're not gonna ask you for load. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. We must have been on a different voice. I
Yeah,
think we were on a male, female, child, or one of those green buttons.
yeah,
Yeah, great. So,
yeah. So that's what I was getting
so
at.
my question is why were we 18 minutes in, and so the whole time we had that voice? We weren't even told for 18 minutes. Yeah, unless it just changed. I can't even tell you what's going on anymore. Right before the live, for no reason, the computer just went out, and it's brand new. All the other powers stayed on. I thought it
Well,
was a
no, no,
power
no.
thing.
The power fluctuated. Yes, the power blinked. It blinked.
The whole house.
Yeah, like a
It's
split,
in.
like a split second. Like you probably
Wow.
didn't see it, but I saw it.
Okay, so then that's what happened, but maybe I don't know. But I thought we reset that. So all right,
Yeah,
so
when you said check it, I thought you meant to see if we lost internet because if the power blinks, the internet takes a long time to
but it doesn't explain why
reboot.
that did.
Well, that's what I said, but that's probably how it affected that because
Yeah,
because the power blinked literally for a split second.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there's audio fixed. The guy with the broken hip is done. Most guys senior that have hip surgery die within a year, and that's in the West Medicine.
Ooh.
My concern is he seems to have some sort of pneumonia or flu. He's not. He's sitting in the heat, no AC, hardly any fan, barely eating, barely drinking. And just because you're overweight doesn't mean you don't deserve to eat. People are like, oh, we can just sit there and lose weight. That's not the point. When you're sitting there and you're in that much pain, you don't really want to eat. And he's not getting the proper. They did officially hook him up to an IV, but I think it took him a week to do that. So hopefully that'll help with his dehydration. But yeah, he's going downhill. And my concern is just the longer they wait, it's just, he can only deal with so much. So he's losing hope. So I've been watching some of his lives, and yeah, he's losing his grip. And who wouldn't in that kind of pain? It's just if you smashed your finger, you guys would lose your mind, let
Well, I
alone an
mean,
entire hip. It's
people want to off themselves over a toothache, much less that.
Mhm.
And again, thank you so much, guys, for all your continued support and helping him
Yeah,
out.
it really
Thank you so much.
If you guys haven't looked, we did leave a community post that has the link. Like I said, his sister now is trying to get a loan. And so they're looking again over the next few days to, well, they can't do the surgery until the surgeon's wife has the baby. So he's still looking to gather the money, but she's going and getting the blood for him. That's crazy. So province girls also have access to social media, Facebook, so they know the game. So that's just exactly it. If it wasn't their family members that were, saying, "Hey, go work at the bar, go do this, marry a foreigner," and whispering in their ear, it's now anywhere, whether it's the city or the province. They've got social media. And honestly, from what I've been reading and talking to people, those are the first girls that get started.
And actually,
You guys don't think country girls aren't out there banging somebody?
well, here's the thing. 'Cause Heidi actually mentioned it just now. Guys, you really think that city girls are the ones that work in bars? No, it's province girls.
Yeah.
They literally ship their daughters over to the city to work in the bars. Most of these girls in the bars are from
City
they're
girls.
usually from south, aka in the Samar area. Um Mainly that area, and but point being is they're mainly south. Very rare that they come from north, but
You want to see if these help you more with a focus than those? You're saying you're having a hard time seeing. I know these have
well,
helped me over the other ones.
let me see.
But Black Grandpa said city girls in every city and every country have street smarts. Yeah. And they're tough because they have to survive. Yeah. And so they'll be the first that'll figure that out. People,
Dirty, super dirty.
well, dude, clean them up. I am not going to multitask here. I've already done enough of it.
No, not really. I think it's my eyes.
Oh, T. Riley said it was fine. Then the voices changed, but 5 minutes before you fixed it. So, see, it fluctuated and did something on its own. That's what I mean. It must have been when some surges have been coming through the power.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I thought it was weird that
It said for 4 minutes. Yeah. It said you had the voice of God coming out, but I thought you were just having fun. So, yeah, it must have went away. So it was weird. Yeah, we didn't touch we really need to do a new setup. Our soundboard is a couple years old. The mics
I
are a
did
little
mention
bit.
it to Heidi. Like,
Well, you got to find it. I can't.
well, no,
I got a
no.
day's worth of stuff
we're
I
saying,
deal with. I've been saying get one.
it's like 4 years old now.
Yeah, so we need to.
An
But
average,
you're the one.
most electronic equipment
George
after 2
is
years.
the
on
electronic
average.
person and knows the pieces and parts to go with the microphones, and we probably need to replace those.
Yeah, it's probably
So
need
just
for
one
a
of
new
those
soundboard, yeah.
expenses. So reinvest back in. Heidi pushed something. Probably one of the cats. You better go sit down somewhere, ugly tourist. How's things going? Good morning. We ought to meet up at the coffee shop and do ugly and ugly. You know what I was telling George, if you're still in the room, you remind me of my like grandfathers and uncles. You have that northern state look. I don't know where you're from, but it's just I don't know. I'm from up north in the United States, and you look a lot like my
Oh
grandfather.
my gosh. Okay. Now, my opinion is not so much as any. I'll give you a very generalized opinion. Now, Thomas Smith says, "Hello, I have a question for George. I know a live streamer from the Philippines. She sings and takes requests, which again, nothing wrong with that. One person gave her $1,000 for super chat. George is now okay. First off, one, we don't know if that super chat is legitimate or not because some people send
There are
not
fake
her,
ones. There
but
are fake.
there. Yeah, you can send a fake super chat.
Actually, we've had multis where the trolls come in
Right.
and they fake $20 stickers.
Yeah, they're fake stickers. Now,
Mhm,
first off, we don't know
so
if it's
very
real or
easy.
not. Second, if she did receive that, good for her.
And the bots. They're
Right.
paying for bots to be in their
Right,
rooms.
and good for her. And again,
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with her. What I'm saying is, what you want to give, up to you. However, that's like classic simping. That's just dumb, in my opinion. I mean, come on. But also, here's the thing. Recently, a streamer got X-nayed because a guy sent her $50,000 and she blocked him, and then point being is that's nothing to do with the streamer. That's something to do with the person sending. Now, whether they, like this guy who sent 1,000, that's on him and him alone. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, can you reject these offers on super chats? I don't think so. But let's say somebody sends it to you via PayPal,
Yeah, you can
you
reject
can
those.
reject it, and they should reject it. That's the proper thing to do.
Yeah, I mean it's an extreme amount, but it's the where was I gonna go with the that's another thing in dealing with the foreigner's guide and expat dating and all of that, the homelessness, your crap being torn up. It's the money thing that causes a big thing because a lot of these guys that are giving out money really cannot afford it and they really can't afford to spend the money. Like when they start having babies with these girls, whether they're married or not, whether they're building houses, they never planned on that, whether they're buying extras and going to the malls, that's stuff they didn't budget on. They've been listening to those $800 to $1,000 budget things and then they get into bang bang land. And then your budget, they start spending their whatever because you have family members. Then you're handing out money for this, and their cow is sick, their grandkids are sick, and so my sister needs this, or you start hanging out in that Doomageddon clique in the wives club and she wants a couple $100 to go to the mall. And by the way, that can be spent up very quick at the mall. A lot of people underestimate the cost of the Philippines.
Mall, the bar.
Anywhere. It's just expensive these days. And so they underestimate the cost and they're giving out these things. And on the other flip side, you have where these guys are also holding the financial responsibility over the Filipinas. That's tough. What do they call that? Financial. What do they call that when they withhold it? They got an official name for when they don't give the woman any money. She doesn't have any salary. She quit her job. She doesn't go anywhere. She becomes a housekeeper. There's a name for it, guys, where they've got it when they arrive in America and they control them totally with it. They still do it here. They still do it here where they don't want to spend anything on the. It's one thing when all the bills are paid and this and that, but the Filipino still needs money, specifically for other things. So they withhold the money from them, but they don't let them work either.
Yeah. But remember, guys, in the end, if you lead with your wallet, you'll be lucky to walk out with your wallet. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these guys are just having, a country girl can survive. And Tom is like, taking song request. What are you going to sing there for 1,000 there, George?
Right.
I'm a rhinestone cowgirl. And Geechee Lion is now saying he's stopping in to pay his respects. What is going
Hey,
on?
Geechee Lion, how's it going?
Mary pushing the buttons. Yeah, me and George was pushing each other button before the live stream.
Mary?
Push, push, push.
Where's Mary?
Sleeping, babe. They get up anywhere about. They start creeping around the house about 4:35, and that's pretty much when I get up, and then George follows suit, and kind of goes from there. Wasn't me who gave the money. Probably was.
Really, second one says $20 for George. Is he wearing? If he wears only a thong.
You did that.
I did that.
I wonder, did we put that on members only? The one where you went across the street with the soda? I think it's officially on there.
It still exists.
Yeah, it's there somewhere. George did that Barat thing right up his butt, went right out the front gate and dropped in the candy inside the soda and said it's refreshing. But I believe that's one of our original videos on. I have to look. Pretty sure that's where it is, but it never got taken away.
And note that I didn't forget about your thong either. But anyway.
So wasn't me. All right, well, let's get into some of the comments that are coming in based on this dating. So, yeah, leading with your wallet is really going to be bad. It's just really, really going to be bad. So I'm going to see if I just lost it here. I'm going to read what the guy said. So basically, there's the homeless one, which the homelessness is, oh no, are you kidding me? Wow, on top of that,
What happened?
it shows that Kelly is urgently looking for his own blood. That means she waited for hours at Red Cross and they don't have his blood. So now, on top of needing money for the surgery, his blood type doesn't exist.
Not anymore.
We mean not anymore. Most of the time they don't. It's not the same as the U.S. Every expat that's been here that needed surgery,
What's
they
his
had to
blood
have.
type?
Well, I'm about ready to find out one thing at a time. You can open up Facebook too. It just popped up. He said he needs blood. So that means they didn't have it. Because last I read this morning, they were waiting in line for hours. So then that means they don't have his blood. Wow. There it is, guys. Wow. Dude. We can't find it if you post a million memes and your lady. He's got a ton. I can't find it because he's got a lot of memes.
Yeah, that's it, Scott. The mankini. Yes, he says I remember the mankini.
Yeah, that was. Come on.
Yeah, and good eye, Thomas Smith. Is George growing a rat tail? Good eye. That's why I was doing like this. Like, I guess you can see it.
You grow that rat tail, and I'm gonna cut it off in the middle of the night. Okay, so I take it he did a post. Well, I'm not gonna find it. So he did. Dude, you got to repost. All right, urgent blood donors needed. O positive. They do not have O positive blood. So he's looking.
Isn't that rare?
I have no idea.
No, I think O positive.
So on top of that, the guy, I hate to say it, that's doomed. He not only needs the money and the bills are building up, he's also got to go through recovery. I'm not aware they're going to do therapy for him. The surgeon might do it for free, but where's he going to get the recovery? He's got a long uphill battle. So he's collecting the money and now he can't even get the blood. And he's in Dumageddon. So if he would have said AB positive and nearby, that's something that, I could have helped with or someone else. But I mean, I guess, yeah, Andy's out in the province, so he's going to have to find somebody that's going to come in. Wow, guy. Yeesh. Yeesh, yeesh,
Oh, he's
yeesh.
in Dumageddon.
He's in
Not
neighbors in the province. He's outside.
in that area.
He's not even
in
right.
That area.
Right. He's yeah. So he's out literally in the boony area. The hospital that he's at is.
Huh.
Yeah, I keep coming up with the wrong one. Trying to get to this guy.
Yeah, Simon says I will make George a Scooby sandwich if he wears a thong.
All right, so this guy said, this had a couple hundred responses from both foreigners and Filipinos. The guy says, it's fascinating to read many posts here on Facebook that expresses the concerns about Filipino women being a threat to the men's finances. But this situation is not unique in the Philippines. It is universal, which we've said that. This could happen even in America. But But I will say that this is happening in the poorer countries, or like when people go to Jamaica or they go to Mexico or whatever. When there's a big gap in where the wages are, and then you got these expats coming in, this could actually happen. But the player thing has been around for a while, as far as the age gap, where it's based on some money. It says if you're an older gentleman seeking a much younger partner, whether you prefer youth company or someone to care for you, and that's another thing we discussed. A lot of these guys are basically looking for a nurse. They see cheap rent out in the province. They see themselves a nurse, somebody to show off, possibly a little family on the side. They're building something instant when they come here. They're on that budget situation. Like they just jump all in. Some of them don't even check anything out. But yes, they're looking for someone for youth and to play around, or it's the opposite. They're looking for a nurse. They're looking for their full retirement plan. Younger women usually have fewer resources and may be drawn to the stability and the lifestyle. Therefore, they take on the man. That doesn't mean her feelings are not genuine, which I'll agree. I think they still see him, as we discussed, like a father figure or more of a. I think they have the family, you know, I think the girls care. Most of them I feel care, and that it's not fake, but it does seem that they grow into the relationship. However, if you're looking for financial equality, you're more likely to find it with a woman closer to your age. And you can find the women here. They've got their houses, they're working, and there's plenty of Filipinos here that have money. There are guys that, we're not saying it can't be found. You just have to not jump onto something. Oh, you're not gonna. Okay. I'm giving you a chance to jump in between it.
No, no. Okay.
Okay, so you don't have anything to respond. Okay. However, um, when you do that, I think a lot of guys also, you got to understand that you're building. Like she's got a life, a career, and sometimes they don't like that more independent thing. Kind of goes back to the West thing they're trying to avoid. I think a lot of the guys are being fed through social media and these other channels that, you get this woman, you got this, you got that going on. If you get a woman that has money and a house and a business, a lot of them do have a lot of Western thinking, or they're super independent. Even the Filipino P and others talk about how, independent and how the women are changing here in the Philippines. We've discussed that. So, if you constantly feel threatened or resentful toward Filipino women, maybe it's time to reconsider your expectations or even where you choose to live. Remember, many foreigners move to the Philippines because their money stretches farther, true, and than it would back home. You have some options. Live independently and be with someone closer to your own age and embrace the reality of support, or embrace the reality of a younger partner here. It says stop painting yourself as a victim and stop saying that you're in the middle of love scams. And that's was the whole point of this live stream. Stop painting yourself, because we do keep hearing people say it was all the Filipino and this and that. These guys, these expats are putting themselves in that. They're way more mature than them. They let themselves be taken because I feel they're taking advantage of the Filipinos. We did discuss that.
Well, it doesn't. Well, okay. First off, what all those guys that Heidi showed, they all had the same story. And when I say story, oh, the Filipino scam. And
And there's a
again,
bunch of them. That's just a few of them.
I'm not necessarily defending the Filipinos here, but again, like I said, you don't have to take my word for it. What I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure this has happened. One of you guys, now I'm not saying all of you, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the chat has had a friend who got scammed by a woman, and not necessarily Filipino. Point being, scammed by a woman. And I'm pretty sure that you as a friend, you've also done everything you can. Like, bro, she's using you. She's using you. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, they will not listen. And that's what I mean by. And guess what? Once the scam is over, once they're down and out on their luck, they'll say, "I never saw it coming. Nobody warned me. She scammed me." And yet all his friends have been saying, bro, she's scamming, she's using you. And like I said, it's these exact people say, Didn't see it coming. She used me. Nobody warned me. You guys get my picture? It's these type of people. I'm not saying all of them, but what I'm saying is, w- even if you are the one that got scammed, okay, e- even at the back of your hand, something was telling you like, stop, stop, don't give her the money, don't give her the money, or if you're a woman, don't give him the money, don't give him the money. It doesn't matter whether male, male, female, female, whatever. It doesn't matter. Point being is, I'm pretty sure all of us, at one point in time, not necessarily scammed, but knew we were being used at one point in time, and something in the back of our heads, it's a bad idea, it's a bad idea. But then here we go, here you go.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
So which are you, Cupid or Donner?
Donner.
Well, I'm talking about Cupid as in Cupid, and Donner as in the Donner Party.
I know.
They're way off, aren't they? I bet you thought we were talking about Christmas. I was talking about Donner as in the Donner Party, and Cupid as in Love Boy. That's Love Boy is over there. I'm Donner. Yeah. What is really going on?
So yeah, no, 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 no. And again, like I said, no, this is somewhat touchy because again, it's kind of hard not to stereotype and all that. Because honestly, here's the thing: the reality is, even I can see the stereotypes when it comes to Filipinos. And
Well, that's the first thing the comment. It says here, way to f up
like,
the stereotypes in the
if I
Philippines.
were to, let's say, decide to, okay, or just by behavior, because I've interacted with enough Filipinos and Filipinas, just by observing human behavior in general. I'm talking about Filipinos, not Westerners. That's a different topic entirely. Here's the thing: if I were to pick up women, not guys, I wouldn't know. I'm not into guys. Not No offense to the guys, but what I'm saying is, if I were to pick up a Filipina, I would have better luck. I hate to say it, with a province girl. And again, it's not because I try. It's because I'm not sure if they're more open. I don't know, but they're more willing. If that makes any sense. I'm saying that if I were to like approach somebody, they're more approachable. If you want to like converse, they're more willing to. That's what I'm saying. So maybe that's why foreigners tend to gravitate towards provincial girls. Maybe, I don't know. This is from my point of view as a Filipino. So there's some truth to it, I guess. I mean,
Second, when he's in Negros, there's if you want to contact me, if you're in that, it's the Dumaguete Negros. It's I have the name of the hospital. It's a province hospital that's just by initials or something, NOPED or NOPD something. It's I guess abbreviated. So yeah, he's saying that it isn't rare. It says here in the comments, I was starting to go through there. Um, the person said very well said about the guy talking about what we were just discussing. He said reality bites the Filipina when they're like a live-in maid to a foreigner. And by the way, you got to remember there's two sides to the story. You keep hearing how these guys are homeless and this is not what I was talking about is they also take advantage of these Filipinas. They're looking for their youth, a babysitter, somebody to cook their food. And a lot of them won't even marry the girls. They don't leave them anything. You guys all think these guys that are YouTubers are leaving these girls something? No, their asses are a lot of them are broken on a pension. And I know this is bad of talking about somebody in the hospital. Look at Kelly. He had X amount. I think he had $600 in the bank US. In Australia, a lot of people are moving here because they're broke in their country. And there's nothing wrong with that if you can afford to take care of things. And you have one accident like that. Like I'm one accident away from being in trouble. And they come here and then like he's married to this young girl. If he passes away, which she was taking care of herself before they got married, but it's still going to leave her in a hole. And I hate to say it, she's liable to end up with all of his bills. She will have to take on his financial responsibility. If the bills run up and over, doesn't she have to pay all that?
if they're legally married.
Yes, they're legally married.
No,
Yes.
no, I know that. Yeah.
So he's got a girl that's super young. She's going to be stuck with all of his debt on top of that. So, I mean, it's part of the topic, but yeah, these girls, there is two sides of the coin in this dating thing. And you got the guys that really don't think about the whole thing, and then you got some that know exactly what the fuck they're doing. Oh, she's going to do this and that. And they're listening to these channels and get in and get your girl. And they're all young and go to the province. And yes, either ends up scammed or you totally destroy her life. Or
Yeah.
you could do both.
Now, going back to the statement that Heidi made again, that when reality hits them, that they basically turn into maid. First off, you have to remember the good old days. And when I say good old days, I don't literally mean good old days. I'm talking about, like, remember there's something called work education back then, and there's something called economics. I mean home economics. The boys do work education. They work on cars. They do some woodworking, carpentry, whatever, and then the girls, do homemaking. What I'm saying is, if you read etiquette back then, and um, I'm not making this up, in the US, like back then, they teach what girls to, make sure how to take care of their husband. I do remember that one. They don't, when the husband comes home, let them sit, give him
Oh, how
something
they
to
used
drink.
to, yeah, there was manuals. They used to have
Right,
that in home ec for
right,
us back
correct.
in the 80s.
Home economics, right.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with the breadwinner
Expecting.
caregiver relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. However, here's the problem.
You are in Southeast Asia. Things
Well,
kind of.
the problem is these girls can't handle it because they're not like that.
And
What I'm saying is
now
they're
there's a
very
lot changed with the
right.
internet and what they see, and
Correct.
some of them want more.
It's not the
and-
girls back then, it's the girls now. They're like, they see on social media. Again, social media is a bane. They're like, oh well, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be at the mall, I should be doing that. They don't think like, I should be a caregiver, since I'm a stay-at-home wife. Okay, I put air quotes because they can be married or not, whatever. But point being is, they don't think like that. They think they should be pampered, and it shows. It shows when you watch these guys' videos with the girl in the background. These aren't women. These are girls. Girls. They behave like 15-year-olds. Even if they're 18 or 20, they behave like they're 15-year-olds. They're not. They don't have this maturity level. They behave like, again.
It's, yeah, let me. This person, what I just read, they said that it doesn't take a genius to realize that it was a bitter American woman that wrote this post on a Filipino expat community post, which is odd. That didn't sound like a woman or a
No.
bitter American.
No.
But
no.
he said a bitter American woman wrote this because they're resentful for the fact that American men have given up on them. Which, by the way, that's a whole content thing and a statement by content creators.
Well,
I
that's
get it, but the women were good enough to raise their kids in America. They married them. I heard old dog the other day dogging left and right his first wife. Oh, well, I provided her everything. I did everything. And I like old dog. I mean, I have my right to my opinion as much as he does. And he went on and on and on about how she didn't have to work and how he took care of her. And I'm sure there were a few other side facts that old dog was doing back then, that plays into this. But he said she didn't have to work, but she always insisted on being independent. And he talks about her being crazy and bipolar, and he goes on in dogs, but she has no say so herself to defend on what she said. But here's this guy or this person, American, according to his name and his profile, talking about an American woman is bitter. Makes no sense to continue dating any women in America. They are never satisfied. Filipinos are the same way. You guys don't think the Filipinos haven't changed here in the last 5 to 10 years? Of course they have. Go watch the Filipina piece. She spills all the tea. Also, they're wanting more and more. Filipinos do. Here they want more and more and more. Social media is not helping. They sit on their cell phones on social media all the time, wanting more and more and more. And it says here they're always wanting more, bringing very little into the relationship. Filipinos can do the same. They can do it in England or Canada. It just actually doesn't matter. But that is definitely stereotyping because the men are here from all over the place. This is a bitter American man posting this. Get your shit together. Because after that, he goes on and says they are the very same women who drove the good guys out of America. Very narcissistic. The whole point is sometimes I have to laugh when these guys leave, whether it's the UK or America, and then they get over here and get everything taken. Some have left family, their kids behind, sold the houses that the kids should have inherited. They come over here, and then one scamming Filipino robs them out of everything. So it's, and then some guy named Tim Bennett came behind and said, yeah, exactly true. So, yeah, that's just so much stereotypical of these guys. Always blaming the other side of why they ran here because their lives are fucked up over there and they couldn't hold on to their woman, blame them all, and then run over here because they have no retirement plan, nothing together, and they can come over here and manipulate Filipinos. There has to be some point you see these foreigners coming over here and that they complain about where they came from, America or wherever, especially the Americans. And then they come over to, well, I had to escape the American women. That same shit that happens over here that happened over there is happening over here. So what it is you're leading with your wallet when you get here. That's the biggest thing. Because if you take that away, you think these Filipinos, go watch Filipina P's latest thing where she talks about the dating these older men and stuff. It is what it is. You really think these Filipinas are dating these guys without their wallet? Take away their money. You think that's what they're going to do? And the same thing you blame the American women for is already what it is for here, too. If you take that away, most of you guys will be flat on your face. It's not for your looks and your good charm. Promise you that.
Well, and like I said,
Us American women are just going to tell you how it is. That's it. You don't want to hear the truth. You want to be immature and slink away because you think you're going to go fuck over a Filipina here, one that ain't got no mind. These women got minds over here.
well, that's what I was getting at. Is again not defending the Filipinas or Americans. I'm not defending neither nor. The point I'm trying to make is that guy who made the statement against Western women is the same guy who's going to blame the Filipina for scamming him, and it was the Filipina's fault for him being out on the street.
All three of those
It's
guys.
that type of
She did that
mentality.
to me. They're not admitting. Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. They're not.
Correct.
It's
It's a
what did they
behavioral
do?
pattern where it's them, it's them, it's them. In fact, put it this way. I've been through divorces. Okay, it's not a secret. Heidi, have you ever heard me blame my exes? Honestly, I just thought about this just now. I don't, because here's a reality. Even though in my heart I know I didn't do anything wrong, I can't put the blame on my exes because guess what? In the end, I may have done something or not do something that my ex may wanted me do or not do. Get it?
Yeah, there's always both sides.
Correct. There's both
we're
sides.
Both to
Correct.
blame when it comes to
Right.
breakups. You just always hear these guys on YouTube. Oh, she fucked me over. Or, oh my God, she did this and she did that. Yeah, it makes real good content, real good statements of always blaming. AK, let's talk about on the side note the politic crap. Always good to say, but look over there. It's a Democrat. They did it. Or look over there. The Republican did it. Or look over there. This is going on. Hey, let's do this. It's all the blame game these days. And you think it's deflecting. And to me, it just makes you look stupid. First thing in my mind is you're looking stupid. You're crazy is leaking out. And this next person said something that we talked about. And a lot of these guys are abusers. A lot of people don't realize. I just seen a live stream the other day where the expat in the live stream was yelling at his woman in front of the camera. His crazy was leaking out while he was yelling at her to go do something. Go do it now. And I'm like, wow, you do know you're in a live right now, right? I get me and George go at it on air and stuff. I get it. That might be a delivery. It might be. I can't. 1 second, guys.
It may not be for us because it's really faint.
I'm trying to check right now. Yeah, but he's specifically.
Yeah,
Nope,
there's
you're
somebody
right.
there.
That's the neighbor. Sorry, someone's calling out. Yep, it's for.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get up. I could hear somebody, but it didn't sound like in front of the gate.
Oh, and on top of that, he's probably not delivery. He's probably trying to buy. They sell stuff next door.
Fish.
Yeah, so which is really weird. So in that case, a lot of these guys are abusers. They're drinking all the time. They bathe once a week. They're rude all the time. You think you was a goddamn pleasure cruise back in America? Us women are ready to let you go. We don't want to be drugged down in our 50s and 60s taking care of men that are bitching about us. What it is you call us your mamas, but you want us to be your mamas. You want us to cook and clean for you. You want us to do all this stuff, and you want to be left alone. You want to be where that's just what it is. So if we say something to you guys, you freak the hell out. And it's like, yeah, time to get a divorce and get up out of here. She's not putting out anymore. Oh, and you are properly? Everything they're complaining about American women, well, I don't want to look at her. You think we want to look at your old asses either? The whole thing is everything you're bitching about the Western women is just look at yourself. So then you come over here and you think you got it all cozy, and then shit flips upside down on you. Truths. And it's the same. It could be American women coming over here to date men too. Exact same thing can happen with the Western women that come over and start dating younger Filipinos. But that's not happening too often. I've seen where the women that are coming here, if they're in their 30s, they're dating a 30-year-old Filipino man. There are couples like me and George, not too many of them, and usually they're not Americans. Most of these are that French girl that we know. There's a bunch of Russian ones over here. There's a whole Russian community. And but these guys are coming over here, not bathing, and I'm calling your asses out. That's why people hate our channel.
All right.
Because I'm gonna call your ass out. Sit the fuck down.
See, here's the thing. Heidi usually hit nails on the head without realizing it. And what I mean by that is that's why I'm here to reiterate things. For example, Heidi just mentioned again, you think they like to see some old flab, old whatever. No, they don't. Filipinos, no, they're no different. And when I say they don't, they're no different. Here's the thing. The reality is a Filipino would rather be with a Filipino. I'm gonna be more precise since Heidi kind of mentioned it, but I'm gonna emphasize it. I'm gonna make it bold. Whether or not you agree with me or not, here's the thing: it's the reality. Because remember, this affects me too. Not like that. I mean, I'm married to Heidi, but point being is
And they can't take a strong woman.
the reality is Filipinas would rather date a younger Filipino. I'm not talking about younger compared to me and Heidi. Younger than them if possible because they're fit, they're more prettier. I'm not making this up. You know how I know? Because I pay attention. When I'm around Filipinas, whether they're selling something or not, their reactions change. They perk up. They go like this. They go like that. They go like that.
Told you.
There's little
They
tiny
primp.
subtle signs. And I don't have to date girls to know these signs. And that's how I know. Remember when I said earlier, I can I can feel which one I can take out if I decide to, not that I will. But point being is if
I really don't give a fuck.
well, that's not the point.
It
Point
is.
being is whenever younger men, Filipinos, not foreigners, show up, females' behavior, Filipinas, their behavior change. And it to a lot of guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys are by default oblivious. But no. Other women usually can spot this a mile away. Heidi will spot this a mile away. Like Heidi said, oh wow, she likes him. Oh, Heidi's like, oh, she this, she that. And no, because women have little tiny telltale signs that they do.
Well, believe me, Filipinos can snap down on you too. They're extra jealous. They're also controlling. You guys thought you escaped one frying pan to jump right into another. There's a big portion of immature, controlling Filipinas here. And a lot of guys keep saying, well, I can't take it because she's this, and that in America. But the same thing exists here. As a matter of fact, it might get more petty because they're home all the time. Like a lot of these Filipinos are without jobs. They're single mothers that these guys are picking up on. And you get a lot of immaturity when you're dating 20 something year old girls. You guys want to raise kids again?
Well, that's what I
Somebody you have to
said.
explain something you guys have nothing in common. Like, oh, well, I got everything in common with my woman. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you really? It's there's a lot to consider. Buddha said many have never gotten rich, never been rich, never protected any of their wealth. Then they go to the Philippines and suddenly they're
Oh, right, right. I see what you mean.
oh,
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about because their pensions,
Yeah, they
it's like,
double.
yeah,
Yeah, I get
because
it. Yeah.
even if you come in with 2,000 a month, you're talking about 100,000 pesos. And a good job here, if you really have a good job, is 30 and 40,000 pesos a month. And people underneath that, the basic people are making 15, 20,000. So if you've got 100,000 pesos, which by the way is very easy to go through, very easy to spend that here. And you're not even living somewhere fancy. On average, we spend 1,800 to 2,000 a month. A lot of it pours back into the pets and medical and groceries and different things. But it's yeah, they do live a different. Their money goes further here. That is for sure. Uh, yeah, let's see. Somebody as American, half Filipino. So this guy's half and half. It's wild to see old dirty men complain like they're a hot ticket item here in the Philippines. Go boy, go boy. It's your birthday. He put it like it is. The guy's half, he's half. And it says here, like you're a generic creep going to Asia as a passport brother looking for children brides. And what did you think that you were looking for or going to find? It says here, what? It's based on your personality, it's based on your looks. If you had one of those, you would have already had a wife. Yeah, back in America, that's just it. You all couldn't afford, you couldn't handle our attitudes, you couldn't be told or somebody talking back to you, somebody telling you like it is. Could you imagine me in a relationship with Sunshine Shoulders or Old Dog? And they claim they didn't date women like us. Oh, they did. Their first wives are too. But now they're looking for somebody that they can control and buy a ticket for. AKA their money goes further. You really think they took on women they could still control. And most of the women in America are not going to deal with that. They're not going, especially in our age. I'm not, like me and George go back and forth all the time. It's just where it is. But he says, but you as a man are controlling. You're a creep. You're a closet pedo, and you guys are just mad. Mad in one place that behavior is tolerated by these women. They're tolerating you. Sorry, cold hard fact. They're tolerating you. And the guy says outrageous. That was a pretty hard bump to swallow. Go ahead, George.
Well, it's not that. Again, I'm not.
Not all of you guys. Don't take
Well,
offense.
that's what. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Same with the
What I'm saying
Filipinas,
is,
but
see that
kind of hits it on the button.
that's an accusatory statement, and what I mean by that, it's whether or not. Okay, again, I'm not. Point is, some people like younger people. Some people don't. I'm talking about younger legal people. Okay, I'm not talking about anything like that. But what I'm saying is, like I said earlier, the problem you will face with younger people in general is they're immature, and you will have to deal with that. And again, they're not going to take care of you the way you feel. See, here's the issue: is you in your mind have your ideal wife, but if you're getting a child bride, as this gentleman said, you're getting a an immature person.
AKA, all three of those guys had their passports taken or ripped out.
Right, you're dealing with not necessarily children. I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying the behavior is childlike. They're immature. They're not mature enough to take care or handle the reality of things, and that's what I was getting at.
I mean,
And that's the drawback, regardless of, again, it has nothing to do with, well, age gap. I get it, but that's kind of not the issue here. The issue is,
I
you get somebody young, you deal with some young behavior.
I get that every guy doesn't, like I've heard Sunshine. Every guy doesn't want to be sassed. They want to come home. They want that 50s thing where women used to have the fire ready and the food. Don't talk a bunch when he comes home. And they want that. I get the peace. I fucking want peace. But I also want a man that's going to pay the bills too. I want a man that's going to listen to me, and I want a person that I can conversate. We all want something. I get it. But these guys' expectations are kind of all over the place. They're being fed stuff. And like Black Grandpa said here, if a Filipina has a house and a business, a great job, yeah, she's not going to date these older, ugly, broke down, limb missing, half face, like me, overweight. If a guy dates me because George crashes in his motorcycle on Christmas Eve, riding out in the street when it's raining, and I have to move on, I'm majorly overweight. I've got attitude. You think I'm gonna stop my attitude if I start dating or something in my mid 50s? The answer is no. So they're definitely only going to date me because of income, because of the middle upper class income that I have, and a house full of crap and stuff, and that I'm going to cook, clean, and take care of them. They're just going to win all the way around. They're just going to ignore me and go out and hang out with people all day. The whole thing is they're going to tolerate, but they're not going to. It's not going to be because they're madly in love, and you either have to accept that and use them on the other hand, or you just actually suck it up because there's someone else. You have to be aware. Open your goddamn eyes. And what would make these guys leave their documents somewhere? I hide shit from Georgia now. Why? I mean, I don't trust nobody. You have to have some sort of level. There's things like on your side. What are you looking for? Your documents?
They're right there.
Yeah, I got other shit hidden somewhere. I also hide money.
Okay.
The whole point is have your own. I have a separate bank account. There's money going into. George has his own bank account that I have zero access to. George keeps his documents because I will rip that shit up the first time he acts up.
Well, there's no money in there anyway.
Not that I would ever rip your documents up.
Not that there's any money in there anyway.
I know it's a joke. But the whole thing is, guys, is open your eyes. Still, I don't get why the most important documents to get in and out of the country and your bank cards, they're just randomly around for these girls to get. Are they literally holding them in their hands when they during love kissing or something? Is that what happens? Yeah, like got their documents in both hands or something. I don't know what's going on. Why? I mean, how do these guys let these girls get to any of their major documents? What I'm saying is, even you keep your stuff in your own. You've got the office upstairs. You have your own folders. You got copies. I've got copies of the whole thing. I don't understand.
Well, you guys should have copies of everything everywhere. Seriously.
I don't, but those three guys, all three of them, has had the same thing, and that's not the only ones that this keeps happening to. Are they lying about it? Did they just leave it behind and they just say that? Or, we've heard guys that have just walked out and left their stuff too.
Oh, I mean that I don't disagree, and I mean, like I said, that's very plausible. Yes.
Yeah, men really don't care about women with money. Look at Oprah, right? I think men are pretty simple. If somebody's cooking for them, taking care of them, mothering them, and everything, I just think they're all about lovemaking and sex. I think men are pretty simple. If you feed them and have sex with them, it probably doesn't matter whether they have money or not, unless they're just narcissistic and really money hungry. But I think if you see these guys like back in the U.S. We had this guy back in the U.S. I remember in the 80s. He used to go from girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend, didn't keep a job for years. Just kept jumping from one woman's house to another, usually single mothers, usually, single women. But the whole thing is they paid for everything. When they go out to the bar at night, they paid for everything. When they go to the drive-ins and movies, they paid. He got women that just took care of him. He never even had to keep a job. Only thing he cared about was the nookie. That's all this guy ever cared about.
There's a limit to that, though.
Well, not everybody is exactly the same, but most men are pretty simple.
No. They're very simple. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how hot you are. Even that road ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
matter how hot you are. That road will end.
That is true. Scott, not sure what video you're putting out. I see it's a short, and and we won't. We have a thing. As a matter of fact, he won't let me. It doesn't lead anywhere.
I tried. Yeah. No, that's it.
Must not be the right one, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Scott, I'm not sure. I just remembered you have moderating rights. We usually don't put other links. Nobody's allowed to put links in our thing, and we usually don't share. So I'm not sure what you're trying to share there, Scott. So
No, it's right here.
Diaz
This is it.
saying,
Oh,
"Oh, it's the actual video." So yes, thank you. Okay, so you did. There it is. That's the link to the video.
to the Mankini.
The
Yeah.
Mankini
Okay,
ones.
that's it.
Is it a member video only? That could be why it's not opening. 'Cause if
Yeah,
we
it's
don't have
not
mem-
open. I was wondering why.
Is it a member only
I don't
video
know. How do
officially,
I
Scott?
tell?
It would actually say.
Yeah, no, it won't. The link won't open for me. So
Oh wow, they got you under hashtag Coke.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks, Scott. Yeah, no, it won't.
No, it seems to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
It shows March of 2023.
Well, it won't open for me over here. So
No, that was that Bharat Mankini
yeah,
that he had on.
that's the short version though. There's a full version. The full version you can see, like in the bottom part. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have that. It could be why it's not. It should say member, but it may not show that it is.
Yeah.
So that may not open
Yeah,
up
I
for
was
everybody if
wondering
they're
why
not
it
a
won't
member.
access. I've been trying to access it. I don't. Yeah. Thanks, Scott.
It's a
Appreciate it.
two-way knife. I was like, what is he trying to post? Thank you, Scott. It's a two-way knife twisting in the back situation with older expat young Filipinos. Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes both ways. And I feel sorry for the Filipinas as a woman because what we wouldn't deal with, they will deal with. And I want men to have a second chance. I really do. But, and we know that there's true love. We know there's true compassion. And you may have every chance in the world, but understand and be realistic about everything all the way around. You have to be realistic. These guys are dropping like flies on the streets. Lots of them are here in the Angel City, Mabalacat area. That one from Ireland is living with the family. And he's like, well, we're used to this and living like this and that. And yeah, we get some of these people coming from the UK and England and Australia are going through hard times. They're going through hard times in America right now, for Christ's sake. I get the situation of wanting to come over here. I came over here so George can spend time with his family. We did it for cheap retirement. I'm aware a lot of it is financial. Could we have stayed there and George would have continued the business or at this point been working a job or two and we'd have made it? The answer is yes. We had everything. We had cars, motorcycles, a house with a swimming pool. We had all of the above at one point. But after you sell and you come here and you make that decision, it's a lot harder to go back. But these guys are coming here. It just depends on how you plan and how you actually keep the expectations open and shit. Instead of blaming American women and instead of the full blame, you have to take some sort of responsibility. But you guys just aren't going to do it. And you guys don't want to hear about it either. You don't want to be mothered by us or me or somebody else saying what's happened. You guys don't want to hear the reality.
Second one says, "Biatch, fix me a sandwich." A sandwich.
I made that ham sandwich yesterday. Still got that ham, and you're not going to get no ham sandwich today. I'm kicking you out of here, locking the door, and no sandwich for you. It's a two-way knife twisting in the back. Yeah, situation order expecting young Filipinos. Yeah. Hey, DSNY. I dated a few girls that wanted me to buy new furniture because an ex lived with me. LOL, they are fast to spend your money. And that's another thing. You guys don't think that's going to happen, but it is. But on the other hand, you have expats that won't spend it all. Like these guys are living with these girls, aka Mountain Boy and Peachback Mountain and all that shit. You'd be surprised how much of the money is being controlled by these expat vloggers or these expats that you hear about or that are actually coming here that won't spend nothing. They keep all the money in the bank and all this. They got them not working and all of that. They're being taken care of and cooking, and then they don't want to give up anything to cook the meal with situation. And that's also bad too. It's, Know what you want. Don't get a woman and just go pay for your chick every day and go down on walking street. A lot of guys, well, that's what they want to do. Why? You got to know what the reality is versus expectations versus what you want, and have that type of game plan. Stop worrying about that $1,000 budget and realize how you're going to deal when you get here. True, true. They got to know. They got to know the full game. Know what's going on. In the West, it's called getting played, yeah, but in the Philippines, it's called getting scammed, yeah. It's a dude. If a dude's a 2 and he's dating an 8, that's the warning. Yeah, the one expat that I seen that I thought was, I don't even know how to feel about it. That's got to be true love. There's an expat and a Filipina. They came across the Facebook the other day. I was telling George, she has no arms and no legs. I think she has one nub. And he carries her on a backpack on his back, kind of like that truck driving guy that carries his woman over in India everywhere with him. And he's fully taken care of. He's got to change her colostomy bag. That's love. If this expat not only has the income and taking care of the girl, he's carrying her in a backpack on her back everywhere. Now, are they vlogging and making money at it? And it's the show that they're putting on? Sure, they're doing it. I get it. It's all social media. But he still has to take care of her. I believe they're married. That is full dedication. Ask yourself, what have you done for me lately? Ask yourself, will this person be ride and die with you? Is this person willing to go through everything? Are they willing to talk? Is all that going to happen in a relationship, whether it's America or the Philippines? Probably not. I think Filipinos tend to shut down and not talk. And the tempo and the passive stuff is a real thing. I talk about with George that a lot of that happens. But ride or die has to be the thing. That guy's ride and die to carry that chick everywhere with them and have the patience. So the guy has the patience. Do I think these guys fight? Sure. I bet there's times where he just leaves her rolling on the floor or in the bed, or
Jesus Christ.
just leaves her sitting on the toilet for 30 minutes and say, bitch, I'll get you when I come back the next time.
That's fucked up.
You know it's the truth. I bet you cannot see him like, oh, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. I'm gonna come get you in a minute, baby. Let me come. I got a napkin. I'm gonna wipe your face. I'll feed you in a few minutes. That ain't the way that shit rolls. Bitch, I'll be there and get you that sandwich when I'm goddamn ready. What I'm saying is reality hits. Nobody's that nice all the time. The show that you see on all these social media channels that we talk about, that's not the way their life goes when that camera goes off. I bet you there's bitching, griming, and griping. I can name a dozen channels right now. Reality. But you still got, that's still ride or die. If you stay with a woman that has no arms, no legs, and you're living out in the province, which the guy is, that's rough. If I lose my arms and limbs, you're going to carry me around all the time and deal with my shit? You don't want to deal with my shit now. George, well, first off, I didn't even want you when I was in a wheelchair. I bitched about you having to push me around in a wheelchair because I didn't want it to be done. A lot of us women are stubborn. But could you imagine me losing my arms and legs? I would carry you around no matter what.
Huh?
George, I can't get you up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're going to do laundry when you're ready. You're going to go here when you're ready. No schedule, no nothing. If I lose my arms, I might as well just roll around on the floor with the cats and let them raise me. For real.
True story.
True story. I might as well. They'll feed me cat food. At least I'm getting something every day.
Joselito Diaz says it's not lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages.
The ugly expat said exactly. These guys are not victims. You want something, they want something. Correct. I'm not defining what. If I got scammed by the dingster, I wouldn't whine. It's my fault, period. Yeah. And so now a lot of them here in Angel City, Mabalacat, they're out on the street and their stories start with she did it. How about that guy that, what's her name? Our Carrie girl covered when a bunch of people called her out. Turns out the guy really wasn't homeless. He had a full apartment. He was just out collecting money every day. He blamed her. He said she was swinging knives at him. She was like jealous all the time.
Now, it's that guy with the she stabbed me in the foot.
The Russian, he was either from the Ukraine or Russian.
No, nobody stabs anybody in the foot.
Another Filipino vlogger interviewed her.
It's just like,
but here's the thing. right after we showed you, they were getting GoFundMe's and they were back together. So there was something weird. So you got to watch out. It's insane. The Christmas reindeer. Yeah, we're Donner. Our little names here at the side, Geechee. Yeah, matter of fact, where did it go? Wonder why it's
It
not-
disappears whenever.
Yeah, but it should be in the design.
No, you did. I think when you have that scrolling, you can't have that. I think. Try it.
Oh, I see
It
what you
disappeared
mean.
when you put it up. Yeah, see. Told you.
Isn't that weird
Yes.
that it doesn't? You can't have all the, but we got to get out of this. We're supposed to be learning a whole new thing, but it takes a lot more to learn it, and I
Yeah,
just don't have any
no.
patience. So I just,
No, it
yeah,
disappeared when you put
I'm
it
talking
up,
about like
yeah.
George's Cupid, as in the love Cupid, and I'm Donner, but supposed to, Cupid and Donner are reindeers. That's what we were talking about. But I'm like in the Donner party. Is the McRib back?
What is this?
The chocolate. So I guess it hardened up because the coffee's cold. That's chocolate, real chocolate. I guess when your coffee gets cold, the chocolate itself, there's dark, sugar free. They're not sugar free. They just don't have any sugar in it. I
There was
made
video of
chocolate
that
coffee.
a while ago.
Yeah, that's the chocolate.
Well,
It hardened back up.
It wasn't cold yet, but I
It's
guess.
kind of like your glue that's on the wall. Look at, see it hardened up. Look up there on the ceiling. Your glue is hardened on the wall today. Yeah, I don't think I have speak of experience or whatever. Crappy crap. Oh, positive. Okay, is yeah, but here's the thing: they don't keep the blood in stock, and you got to pay for it. So when they go down to get it from
Wow.
Red Cross, you got to pay for
That's
the
a
blood.
third of the population, huh?
Everything in a hospital in America and here costs, and here you have to pay up front. Even if you're in a private hospital, they're going to make you put half the money down, and it's always usually in cash. I have not heard from that hospital. I contacted them and I asked them, because there's been a few people on the side that want to pay the hospital direct. Can they wire you the money direct from their accounts? And they have not answered. So now I'm going to have to call. That was days ago. So they're not answering on that manner, but he's going to have to pay for that. And you have to sit down there for hours and ask yourself, is your woman going to go through all that? I mean, me and George have been together for 7 years, and I'm thinking, shit, I'd have to stay for 4 or 5 hours in the heat with no air conditioning, no nothing, waiting in line for George's blood. Do you remember me? Rest in peace, little buddy.
Right.
Don't think
Right. Badaboo says, I have seldom met a divorced, recovering, lifelong alcoholic who never did anything wrong to their ex.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of these guys are drinking by the time they get here.
And in all fairness, because remember that.
And by the way, I just want to say it real quick. Let me interrupt you. YouTube has way too many commercials now. Here's the thing. We have ours on a low setting. There is low, medium, and high
Aggressive,
on commercials, aggressive. And we will not put it on medium or aggressive. But look what they're doing. They're still running them anyways. Our income went from about 500 a month to 150 to 2. And it's the same views, the same everything, and they're cutting our numbers. It's almost like shadow ban. If our video doesn't take off immediately, which most people's don't, or we won't pay their advertisement, it sits with our basic people that are watching. So they're running the commercials. They're not paying us for the commercials, and the income has went into a third than it was a year and a half ago. And they're shadow banning people now. So people's numbers have dropped. And we usually get anywhere between 800 to 1,000 on a normal video because our numbers are real.
Well, and
we grew over 5 years.
It's not.
But, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Well, I was just going to say it's not restricted to us. Again, we know people have millions and millions of followers, real subscribers that barely
Lucky to
get
see
paid
20,000.
anymore.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, but they're running them anyways. And now they want people to pay for the advertisement. And we're not going to pay them $100 to run a video, or, the channels that have 30,000 subscribers and they get 30,000 views is not real. Dr. Oz has his channel. He's got 1 million subscribers, but can barely get past 40,000. But yet Old Dog and a bunch of these others can get 40,000 views. I don't know. It's advertisement, but they're not paying us. But I apologize. The only thing we tell people is we pay the $5 a month and they remove the commercials.
Mary?
And so that's her reverse sneeze.
Oh, you okay, Spear?
Yeah, you have to get her attention. Mary has that Chihuahua or that, with her being Shih Tzu, and what's the other breed she is?
Pekingese.
Pekingese. She gets that reverse sneeze like the Chihuahuas did. And you either have to put your hand on her nose and make her focus, or where's her outfit at?
Oh, I don't know. You took it off.
But yeah,
There she goes. Look, Mary.
I wish the guy was closer. I would definitely donate. Mary, calm down, honey. Yeah, I took it off yesterday. I think it's over there behind you, babe.
Yeah.
Love is nothing without action. Love is nothing without proof. Or trust is nothing without proof. Michael's telling Kay Dallas, hey, my brother, he says, you are correct about the money they spend on their girlfriend. Yeah, and some of them are really. Yeah, I've been cussing a lot more here lately. Once we're further into it, I noticed some of the big vloggers are now expressing themselves. That big guy that's been talking about the politics, he uses it now about every third word. Yeah, I mean, try not to, but sometimes it's the one way that people are hearing it or know that we're serious. Good morning, Victoria. I'm gonna let you know George is taking a bathroom break. I'm staring at his Pringle pants here with a band. What does it say across that band there? And your new black shoes? What does it say on the band? Uh, Crazy Boxers is around the black band, and he's got Pringle underwears on today. He's wearing his Pringle boxers underneath his blue jeans here, sponsored by Pringles, the Filipino breakfast of champions. Oh, I don't know what it is. I took an allergy pill, but yet I keep itching. And I don't have the mic cover on, so who knows? Actually, this is probably worth the investment. We invested in a can that's about 13 US dollars. It's a fine powder of Starbucks coffee, just medium roast or something, because it's hard to find a decent coffee. They've got them here, don't get me wrong. And usually Starbucks, when you get it there, is overpriced, and it's not worth what you're actually paying per cup. But $13, it only takes like a tablespoon. So I'd probably say there's about 30 cups in there. So it's worth making the iced coffee. So I don't have to boil the water or do anything. It'll go into cold water. And then I add real milk, and I add the monk fruit sugar into these. And for like George's, I'll add a scoop of the natural brown sugar. What do they call it? Moscavo. It's a natural brown sugar that's not washed. But at that point, I think it is. The problem is to replace this. The price went up recently by 200 pesos. They're raising prices everywhere. We just got this, and it wasn't on sale either. I looked to see if it had something. No, they just raised it by itself. Could be the holidays. And I think the same canisters can be bought 2 for 1,500, which is about 30. So I bet if I bought it directly at Starbucks, it would cost out the Yingus. So there are many stories of men who have used women, named for credit accounts, and then bail. There's been a bunch of it. And I feel sorry because every time I see these TikToks, Facebooks, and the YouTube videos, the shorts, and you'll see them meeting at the airport and then going out in the province, and they keep showing these guys out in the province, showing like, I'm gonna do a YouTube channel. And some of them are desperate because they're trying to make the money. I believe the other portion is bored. Like for me, it's not desperate for the money. Making $150, $200 a month is not where it is. For me, it's a way of communicating. Maybe we could help somebody, maybe, and now we just got used to it over the last 5 years. But these guys are showing their life out in the province, and they're like, oh, look at me surviving. I think it's their escape to get into a form of retirement, because these are older guys. Or look at the desperation of Peachback Mountain. His woman cheated on him to have a baby. They told everybody that the baby was his. They're still going on. He's got a new girlfriend up there. His lady is in the back house, and it was her land to begin with. Turns out that she's got a husband she's still married to that still possibly could own the land. Maybe she did. We never got a clarification of that. And he's living on there with his girlfriend, and all of his money's gone. He admitted his money's gone. He's still playing daddy to this baby. You guys remember that whole situation? And he's out there super desperate. And now he's got a brand new girl that is still a quarter of his age that shows, oh, look at her chopping up my meat. Oh, look at her cleaning my house. Look at her cleaning my refrigerator. And it's like, the first one cheated on you, man. So it's just crazy.
Well,
Yeah, America did that in the 60s. Yeah, they had tire books. We had home ec in the
yeah,
late
home
70s and
economics
80s.
and work education. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I I
And
miss
I
I
get,
miss that. I love that.
here's my deal. You don't think I don't want that either? You don't think I don't want a man that will work and be mature and bring home the money and actually
Well,
I mean, now there are women that are working, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the babies, whether they're here. You got Filipinos that don't work that just sit home, and it's the Filipinas out. What goes on in America is still going on here. The difference is there's a money imbalance, and a lot of the women went up out of here too.
yeah.
A foreign passport usually means they get to leave. There's someone here. I'm going to get back to the comments. There's a guy up here that said when he took her back to America, that was it. She hasn't been back since. He's back here. That's not the first time we've heard that. Who
Well,
is nothing
hate
new
to say
there?
it, but you should.
Indeed, this person here said a lot of this is being seen on YouTube. There an old saying: wherever you go, your bullshit will follow.
Yeah, you're there.
Booyah!
Doesn't
Boom!
matter where you are. You're there.
There it is. Your bullshit will follow. My bullshit and attitude followed over here. You guys got to understand the adjustments even I've made. I still struggle on a daily basis, but at some point I've normalized everything. Oh, there goes another dead kitten in the street. Oh, hey, there's a guy taking a shit across the street. Hey, oh God, there's a bunch of guys over there setting fire to the yard across the street. Oh, looky there. There's someone up the street doing this. Or, you kind of just go through and it's like, oh, there's everything. You can go to one restaurant and people are spending tons of money, and then you can go up to a Canaderia where people are just serving food in a plastic bowl with a plastic bag, and you quickly eat and go. And it's, oh wow, look at this. And there's a lot to actually adjust to, cultural wise, dating wise, and people don't realize how hard it is. And I'm a tough ass bitch bird. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I still whine like a bitch. I still bitch constantly. Can you confer to that?
Oh no, that's not true. Heidi never complains. She never bitches. Heidi's an angel sent from up above. God Himself delivered her with His hands. Here, George, you have been blessed.
We got to do that live stream where I'm just gonna be nice the whole live stream. I'm not gonna say like anything where people feel I'm just bitching about the Philippines and negative all this. I'm just gonna do one where it's just gonna be everything nice.
Speaking of a different
No, I'm serious. It's got to be
Yeah.
because you can't be fat and bitchy and sassy. You can be skinny and bitchy and sassy, and people will accept that. But I'm supposed to be fat and jolly like Santa Claus. So I'm supposed to. We got to do that reverse thing. We're gonna have you be sassy, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, but it's so great. Everything's good. I woke up this morning and it smelled like plums and cotton
We've
candy.
done that before. We've done reverse day before.
We didn't go all the way through with it, but we need to actually say reverse day. That'll be, you know. Well, you've got to take the kitties to the vet. We got kitty things to do, so it'll probably be Saturday.
Oh, I was gonna take them to the barbecue.
You're not taking them. Oh no, you don't. Where you at?
Who?
Who just sneezed?
He's right here. She's
Black
right
cat or her?
here. Mary.
Okay. Who's singing?
Oh, that's Maroon 5.
Maroon 5 just went by. It's probably the guy who's got an oversized boombox on the back of his bike. What is he? Does that guy sell something or he just rides through with his boombox? Yeah, Maroon 5
He just rides around with his bicycle.
So we'll have to do the reverse. Hey, King Bees. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. Like George's brain. For us and George in bed this morning. Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap. Hey, good morning, Laura. Good morning. Yeah, Diaz has some good, let me see. If not, it's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. That is true, but it's also hard for there's a lot of people that say that, and I don't think they do know their values. I think other things get distorted, like feelings, with those values. I know my value all the time, even with me being overweight. A lot of people think that I don't deserve to have values or who you want to date or that your abilities and stuff. I think feelings get in the way. Truth. I think with me and George, we're too sensitive on feelings. But in the end, somebody on both sides, like things need to be done in everyday life. And some of that all gets in the way. And when couples get mad or they're fighting, I notice usually the whole house breaks down. The kids are affected, the pets are affected, the whole house. When couples are fighting, they tend to mope and not do things, and it affects the entire house. But all in all, the the values, you have to know your value, yes, but I think the guys get caught in their feelings too. I think they're in love with being in love and the new relationship, and by the time this time frame goes by, I think they're screwed. I think they know some of their value, but I think Filipinas, I don't know if they can afford to know that, babe. I think some of them know they need to. Some of them are single mothers and they know their value, but sometimes you have to overstep that. No, if they knew their value, they just wouldn't start dating the
Well,
way
I
they
wouldn't say
do.
that either. I mean, knowing your value and doing something about it is two different things.
Yeah, but they could wait for the right guy. A lot of these guys they're taking on, they know from the beginning they're drinking, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, not giving them money, they're assholes, and they still date. They still
Okay,
marry them.
okay.
So they must not know their
To
value if
oh, all
they.
right, to put it into perspective, it's no different than the West. And again, I'm not defending nor it's not a racial issue. The point is what I'm getting at is here's the thing: the choices of the Filipino women. Again, this may apply to guys too, but it mostly applies to women only because the majority of our viewers are male. There's a small percentage of female. But what I'm saying is, um, okay, here's the three choices everybody makes. Okay, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are. You either get, Mr. Right, Mr. Right now, or you know, the wrong guy. What I'm getting at is, let's say I'm not saying Expat is the wrong guy, but he's definitely Mr. Right now. And what I'm getting at is, again, here's the problem, and I say problem because remember when I told you that most Filipinos would rather be with a younger male Filipino? You,
Well, we
they're
said
not
that most Filipinas would date
right.
their own kind.
Well, that's their ideal fact. Again, nothing. But what I'm saying is, even they know that that's Mr. Wrong, because again, reality is you date somebody younger is probably more immature than they are. Because remember, we're talking about men here in general, and in general, most men behave years more immature than women are of the same age. So what I'm saying is, so that's what I'm saying. The girls' choices are the one they want, which they know is the wrong choice. So that let's eliminate that one. The younger male Filipino, let's eliminate that one because that's just a bad idea entirely. So now, yeah, Mr. Right now or the right one. Who do you think they're gonna go for? The
Yeah.
one right now or the one that doesn't even exist? So of course they're gonna choose Mr. Right now, which unfortunately would be Mr. Wallet coming down the road, fresh off the boat or plane, as it were. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I'm just saying.
It says here that, and these are comments, boomers are deluded. The only reason people accept to be around them and date them, marry them, is because they're paying the bills
Yeah,
at the end of the month or during the month, especially these women living in the villages out
it's
in the
Mr. Right
province.
now. Yeah, right.
Another Filipino came through and said
And
that
guess
was
what?
true.
These girls, guess what? They're gonna cheat on you on again the younger Filipino male. My point is because that's what they really want in the first place, but
And
even they know that's a bad idea.
and it's not unique. when we say that, it's it does happen back in other countries in America, but like someone said here, it's happening in Cambodia, it's happening in
No, it's worldwide. It doesn't
Thailand.
matter. Even in the
Well,
U.S.
we're specifically talking about certain
No,
Asian
I know that.
countries
Yeah.
where desperation, because I also feel because the men are coming from Western countries, they've sold everything, they've got little to no income, most of them. We discussed that. Probably 2 out of 10 have a big amount of savings to cover a big emergency and have enough of a pension. I just seen a guy the other day showing himself on a motorcycle in America, talking about he's ex-military, talking about how his life's so grand in America. He's coming here, been to Asia a few times, but he's got 6 or 7 thousand a month to come over and retire. Yeah, you're going to be more than okay unless shit shoots up over here the next couple of years. But that's way more. You should be able to get by in America, but 6, 7 grand if you don't own a house or whatever, it could get costly in America, especially with what's going on. So 6 grand over here is a lot, but not everybody has that. So there's that 2 or 3 people out of 10 that actually have something decent going on. Most people are 2 grand and under and have less than 5,000 when they enter the country. They're lucky if they have the 5 grand. That is the truth. They're living on credit cards, they're coming on borrowed money, and they get in here and they're just as desperate. So you talk about desperate and desperate inside of an apartment. Yeah, it's not kind of what's going on.
Oh, somebody's asking about the kittens.
Oh yeah, the kittens. So yeah, on the kitten situation, real quick, we have the video on the other channel, the fil-am retirement, which is our second channel. We tend to post the pet stuff on there. We're going to probably post it here, but again, it's live streams that we do. And the kittens were on the back porch with mom for about a day, but she kept clawing the screen, clawing the outside window, and they wouldn't stay out there. So when the kittens were out there by themselves without their mom, they still need her milk. They were miserable for the day. Matter of fact, they looked like they were getting sick. So they still need some of their mom's milk. They wouldn't stay on the back porch together. So they've been living in the front yard. So they've been out there for about 2 days. We bring them in the house and pet them, and they eat solid food outside. We've seen them eat the dog food. We've seen them eat the cat food. We have tons of water bowls, and yeah, they're too young to be vaccinated right now, so we can't do a whole lot with them but leave them because they're not living in the house properly. They're not living on the back porch properly. They screech for her. She sits outside and screech, and the best was to put them all back out, and they've got a little box that's outside that they actually, but the problem is now is they keep following her outside the
They're
fence.
starting to run around. It's kind of hard to chase them.
Was they outside the fence again?
They're right. No, they're right here, but they're hard to.
No, so
They're getting faster and faster.
oh, careful.
Well,
That's okay. There you go, Mary.
no, here they are.
No, they're okay. We're feeding them. As soon as they get big enough, we'll have them come in and vaccinate them. Ted had made a donation, and we
They
go
can jump
through.
really high.
No, we'll get them vaccinated here shortly. We just bring somebody in. I think the guy charges $15-20 to come now.
All right, you can
But
stay
yeah,
out.
no, we can't. They won't cooperate. When we just had them without their mom, they had a fit. When we brought mom in, mom wouldn't stay in. They followed her to the front door. We put them outside. They weren't really doing anything, so we brought them in for a few days. No, so we just
Holy cow.
couldn't. So it wasn't meant. They're too independent. Mom's too stubborn, and we have enough room on the back porch, but they wouldn't stay there either. So they're doing good. So, hey, Laura, forgot where I was on that. Now they're out there yelping. Yeah, Geach is like, are they fucked up? I hate to say it. Not all, but it applies to who it is. And the ones that we've been seeing lately that are homeless, I do believe they have issues. I am not believing the Filipinos are all to blame. Something pissed off that Filipina to rip up her shit. And she just didn't randomly say, oh, I'm fucking crazy. Let me go ahead and just do this randomly. No, he did something. Sorry, he did something. There's always, what is it, a catalyst? There's always something that's dropped at that time. I don't know. Something. Maybe he was nagging her. Maybe he didn't. Something.
And
These guys aren't perfect either. You guys act like it is all the Filipinas that are wrong and vice versa. I still think there are two sides to what's going on.
well, and let's not forget, even if let's say everything's perfect, okay. What I'm saying is that remember, not all of these gentlemen are Americans, and where I'm getting at is you don't automatically get a pension because they use word pension for Social Security. What I'm getting at is, for example, whether it's 401k or a different type of pension. Remember, those things run
That's
out.
true.
They run out, and like John, I'm not even gonna go deep on which just John is. His pension is only good enough for 3 years if he stuck to a strict budget, which he didn't. Point being is John did it to himself, as in he didn't stick to a budget. He basically, shot himself in the leg when bought that scooter, and that's it. Boom, his budget is blown. You get my point. What I'm saying is, even if his relationship with his woman is perfect, he would have been out in the gutter anyway.
Hey, baked
You know,
macaroni
you know
and
what I'm saying?
cheese.
And that's the same thing. Remember too that Westerners are trained to say, "Oh, my Filipino ex, she swindled me," even though it probably never even happened. You get my picture? It's a convenient excuse. And again, I'm not defending nor.
Speaking of excuse and swindle, make sure you guys are subscribed and hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down
That's
on this
right.
video.
So
Don't swindle us,
yeah, because
bitches.
if you hit subscribe, we'll scam you.
That's it.
That's how it works. No, but you guys get the picture. It's just a convenient excuse now that honestly, I bet you half of these that never happened to them.
Go ahead and read that one.
They should ask the young Filipinas if they would date an older Filipino with typical Filipino salary. They would say no. It wouldn't be any different for no. Okay, actually, they would say yes. Although, thank you for bringing that up. How do I know? Is because don't ask. Point being is I
Yeah,
do
there's
know.
Filipinas that date the older
It
guys
trust
with
me.
little to no money.
Actually, a lot of Filipino no, no, this is a common thing. A lot of Filipinos will go for older guys, and most of these older guys are married, and they go on as kabits, aka they're
Habits.
they're aware that they're whenever an older guy. See, here's the thing: when an older guy usually approaches a younger woman, here, no, a younger Filipina in the Philippines, there's a 50-50 chance he's not approaching her as a wife, soon to be wife. He's approaching her as a girlfriend, the end, period, as in a kabit. Since you brought that up, again, I'm not. Thank you for bringing that up, though. No, no, that's another misconception a lot of foreigners don't realize. When an older Filipino is looking for a younger woman, in all probability, he's looking for a kabit. And most of these women that will go for these older Filipino men are willing to be a kabit. Think of it this way: there are male foreigners that do have these girls as kabits of their own, meaning they date and be with several different Filipino women as kabits. The- Shoot, I mean, more power to them because they put them up in their own apartments. They'll pay for their food. They'll pay for their bills. Fact. This does happen on both, whether they're foreigners or Filipinos. This is a normal thing. I mean, not normal as in.
I think it's about no matter where they're from.
No,
There
no,
are
no. I know, but
benefits. That's what it is. Whether
I'm
it's American women with an older guy with money,
right, but I'm
there's always
saying
something.
that they would say no, no. That's a myth. This statement is a myth, bro. This statement is a myth. I get a lot of hate because I dispel myths because they don't really want to hear the reality. So anyway.
It's actually the guy's fault for a Filipina scamming him. They can't get what you don't give.
No, no, that's true. That's true. As they call it, it's a gift.
Yeah, you've
You can't
allowed, or
take
they
back a
allowed it.
gift.
Yeah, or it's like I said, I understand.
Now, you have a case if it's
She's always been that way. He's saying that P is trying to be an American progressive woman, not flattering. For you guys, it's not. There's a lot of Filipinas here that are independent. The Filipina P's always been that. She's tried to appear that she's shy, innocent, and But you guys do realize the P has traveled the world before she did this channel. She also had other jobs that I would love to disclose, but it ain't about barking that out. And on the other hand, he was just pointing out, 1 second, you can
It's
shout
Victoria.
out. And the other part of it is she's had all different types of foreigners that she's dated and everything before she brought herself up out of what they would call province, poverty and all that. She's always been strong-willed, and the foreigners even tried to control like what she's done, her careers and everything else. It's all out there, guys, believe me, we know a lot more about that than, but she always is. So it's always been, there's a lot of independent Filipinas.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Victoria. I appreciate you so much for your kind support.
Thank you. Let me go. It's hard. I don't want to lose the place.
I know. That they should fix that.
They should allow you to do it on that end. You should be able to
It
bring
won't.
that up, but it doesn't.
won't.
Yeah. 1 sec. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not easy. They don't make it easy on putting the super chats up. Thank you so much, Victoria. Towards the cats and a little something. Thank you.
Thanks
That,
so much.
That does
Appreciate
that
you.
does help quite a bit. Thank you so much, Victoria.
They're little hellions, though.
Yeah, and we'll be
They
vaccinated.
can literally jump this
They're
high.
probably about 8
literally.
weeks. Yeah, they
Literally.
get up on. We've got an oversized box that was meant to be an old cat box, but it's got a hood, and they get inside there. But they can jump on top of that. Then they jump on top of the cage that's got these two covers
Oh,
on
that's
it.
right. They
They can
do.
clear everything. I'm surprised they're not trying to live in the E-tribe like the rest of cats did over time. But somehow they've run off the other cats. That's the only thing I'm sad about is with mommy cat in the yard now.
Oh, that's probably why. They're
like-
probably avoiding the other cats.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 cats that have disappeared that won't come around anymore, but they do belong to somebody or they're out scavenging, but they have not come back, and I don't like that because I'm worried they're going to get sick from not eating, but they got to be getting food somewhere. So yeah, let me get through some of these. Here, 1 second.
Coke. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria. Let me see if I can find. Now I forgot what time it is. Let me go through
Cuckoo,
some.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff says, if I ever wear a man bun, I don't think so. I wore in a ponytail and I donated it back then a long time ago, but that's about it, really.
All right, let me try to get through some of these really quick, guys.
Although it is getting long, isn't it? It's starting to become a rat tail, isn't it?
You got that Dennis the Menace thing dropping off the front size.
Huh?
Wow, we must really, because when we click on the stickers now, I got to go find. I put the number in my head what time it was. Now I got to find the exact time. All right, so I'm just gonna go somewhere here. Transaction relationships are not always a good ideal. Hey Raymond.
No, it's
Hair
not.
looks
They
good,
never have been.
George. 3. Second win. Good job. I have seldom met a divorce recovering lifelong alcoholic who ever did anything wrong to their ex. Yeah, I'm just putting it up because they're just going through.
Actually,
Heidi, you have to admit that Western women are entitled and have a full backing of the U.S. justice system. Yes, and I get that, but here in the Philippines, the internet has destroyed the women here too, and they want to be independent too. They're the first one out there in those marches that are going on downtown. They're the first ones to step up on their guys. What I'm saying is that's going on here too. It goes on in other Asian countries. It's not the old 80s or 70s or 90s or even early 2000. The women here are becoming entitled. You have no idea when we're out and about and you see these women walking out of the mall with the handbags or walking out of these shops buying all this food, or like George said, most of the time we feel like the rejects here from the amount of money being spent. I think the entitlement is spreading through with the women here, and I don't think social media is helping at all. I will admit that's going on with the West. I definitely do. We've been used to a certain way, but I believe it is spreading here really quick. What do you think about entitlement here?
well, that's a different story entirely. But Here's the thing. The problem is
Amen.
most of these guys who spew out these hate speeches about women abroad, aka in the Philippines, they're this and this and this, and then in the US they're this and this and this. I tell you right now, from those statements alone, tells you they've never been in said country. AKA, for example, if they're talking about, oh, women in Cambodia aren't like this, or this, and in America they're this is. What I'm saying is, let's say there's. What I'm saying doesn't matter what country they're talking about. If they're talking about the Philippines and they're describing women as like that, like they're little puppy dogs, then they haven't been here. And that's what I mean when Heidi says, um, if I think that they're entitled, I wouldn't say. Again, remember it's a mixed bag of people,
They're
but
entitled for the way it is here in the
but what I'm saying
Philippines.
is these people don't know that it's not what these people on the internet are selling. It's not. It's until you. It's kind of like whenever somebody says entitled. Here's the thing. It, even Heidi told me yesterday, the day before yesterday, because I went to a bar the other day and I was describing to Heidi my experiences in the bar, and she's like, "Man, Philippines is weird. It's bougie and ghetto at the same time."
It's a mix of bougie
I'm
and
not.
ghetto. Because you'll
I'm not
see them
joking.
where they waste
I'm not
$40
joking.
on their hair. They get their nails done, but
Yeah,
then
and I
they're
didn't argue
broke in
with
other
her
manners. Yeah,
because yes, like I went to this.
circus,
I went to this
circus.
bar. I ordered my food, got my drinks and everything. I was happy with the food, really happy. But guess what? I barely got any paper napkins or anything
Yeah,
like
them
that.
thin toilet
I had to
paper
use my handkerchief
tissues.
as my, because she asked me like, why did you go in the shower? I said I smelled. I was sweaty, and I was like, and I said I smelled like grease because. But point being is, no, it.
I think they're about as entitled as they can be for living here in the Philippines.
Yes, that
If you were in the
that's
80s or
thank
90s,
you.
the women were not that
That's where I
entitled
was
and
getting at.
wasting money on
Yes,
their hair. Now with social media,
it's
it's
worse.
worse. And now when they see people in the West or other countries, if they didn't see that, they probably wouldn't be buying all these handbags. I seen somebody in the flood where they had 5 or 6 purses sitting on the table out in the province. Their house made with the metal roof, the that weird wallpaper stuff on the wall. What I'm saying is they don't have any money in this house, but yet the woman had 5, 6 purses she was grabbing on the way out. And
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
And here's the thing. It's
It
kind of
just it's so yeah, there's
yeah.
a level of
Here's another
entitlement.
example. The reason why I brought up the bar because that was a great experience. Because every bar is different. That bar was definitely different. But here's the thing. Whenever me and Heidi go out, we obviously tip, and most of the time we get people. We tip them 100 like that, and they're very grateful. They even do this,
Mhm.
and some we tip them like 100 or even 200, and they look at us like, "Is this it?" No, I'm not joking. They be like, they look at it and they look at you like, "Is this it?" Kind of, you can tell in their faces. But yet in that bar, I gave her a 50, and she looked at me like I had 10 heads in a grateful way. But point being is, you never know the reactions and how people would treat you, or it's I wouldn't. Yeah, I would say the least amount of tip for what I bought. But point being is, I know it's only 50 pesos, which is a buck, but she was really grateful, which to me, I was shocked. I was like, whoa, she's really grateful.
And I believe this. I think every kind usually likes their kind for the most part. We're not talking about where white
Mhm.
guys love black men and that's their preference or this and that. You get the occasion. I'm sorry. I know your preference. It's Asian women.
Mm,
I can bet my life on that right now. Even though okay.
no,
Well,
no, I've only been with Chinese and Filipino as far as Asian women, but that's it. But I've dated more Caucasian women than anything.
I know other indicators, but that's okay. I feel you prefer Asian women. Um, but I myself, yeah, I couldn't see George was the occasional thing, just like I think his American women were the occasional thing for him. But I still think your preference is Asian, and the same with me. I don't think I would date another
No, I wouldn't
Asian. I
say
would
preference. No,
go right back
I didn't go
to.
after them. No.
I got that. But it's, I don't know. I still, but if that was the wisdom once earned cannot be forgotten, it's easily unearned. Yeah.
No, it is. It is.
Mhm. I wanted to see them. I wanted to marry. Oh my, yeah. He's talking about her mom locking you down. I think every girl wanted to marry Michael Jackson back in the day. Heidi hit
Oh,
on
hey,
the
Megan.
head more to the relationship than lust. Yeah, it's I
Oh, you
and
smell the kittens? You smell the kittens? I think
yeah.
she
Let her
smells the
smell your
kittens.
hand. Well, you might have
No, I
put your
already.
arm down
No,
and
I
you went
already
to pull at
smelled.
her. She's up to some. Oh, she's smelling the
Yeah, she's smelling
kittens.
the kittens because I held the kittens, so she's smelling the kittens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's Laura. I have seen so many concerts there. I can't remember them. Not all. Not to mention, I went to those days Green concerts as well. Hey, what's going on, Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff? Good morning from NYC. They want the girls. I think so. You can't. Most people. I've never had a problem with men, even when I was big, even when I've been 100 pounds bigger than I am now. It just depends. But I think it's because I know my value. I keep my value in everything: cooking, cleaning, sucking, loving, anything. So I'm like the all the way around. But can you deal with me telling you like it is, dude? You stink. Go take a bath. I'm just going to be blunt. Always have been blunt, and I just like George says, I'm a micromanager and I've been a mother. I've had to deal with everything. I come from a strong line of women that rule, run, and do everything. A lot of guys can't handle that. They want what I call the easy pussy way out. They don't want to be told. They don't want to know. They'd rather live in their little cave, their little manhole, and just go on with things. I don't mind as long as you're taking care of business, that you're out going to bars, that you're hanging out with your friends. You got to take care of business. The deal is men don't want to take care of business these days. These new 18-year-olds, these new 20-year-olds, these 60-year-olds, they don't want to deal with things. Not everybody's the whole package. I'm not the whole package. You just have to have the, what do you call that? You just, there's always going to be that. But it's, me and George has our days all the time. We really, really do. It really is. Me and George have already agreed that if we'd have been in a different time in our lives, we probably, like, raising kids and having kids together, probably would have never happened. We probably definitely have been in that divorce stage. Both me and George have been married several times. It just happens to be that retirement's working. Now, if this would have been us in our mid 30s or even early 40s, I don't think I could have been married to George because I don't think I've been able to deal with things. And maybe vice versa. So it just depends on the stages of your life. But I think the guys want the girls, yes, to that's what I keep hearing from multiple channels and multiple guys, as they want someone they can control is the bottom word. They want someone that is just not going to challenge them. They want somebody that's just going to do, that's not going to question the money side of it, that's going to basically be a robot and put out. They don't like that these girls are sitting around on their phones all day. A lot of them aren't cooking and cleaning, and a lot of them are not nursing them the way they want. And they're definitely not putting out the way they say that they do. That is truth, hard truths. And the guys aren't exactly putting out either without a pill, or they're up there in age. So then, vice versa, the girls aren't getting, even if it's the attention they want, they're not getting that either. So then they're out cheating on you. And the guys are cheating on the Filipinas all the time. I want to let you know the horse rides both ways. The guys are cheating and they will replace. That was one of the comments I read earlier, that the guys, the expats, are replacing these girls very quickly. They move on. So then you're dealing with the girls that want to be married. You got the ones where it's kind of crazy, guys. I'm so offended. Sit down somewhere. I definitely don't play the drama. People need to realize the person they choose. Yeah. If you don't play the drama, make sure you're not the drama. That you're just not doing it. If you're doing your part and bit and all that, it's possible there would be no drama if that was actually existing. Do somebody dig it up and whatever? Yeah, that means they're crazy to begin with, and then yeah, then kick them to the street right away.
Yeah, District of New York 911 says population grew in the United States, so they didn't have room for home economics. Plus, they cut funding. They cut it. We had home economics and work education here too, or shop as it were, but they got rid of it too. What I miss about it is because again, here's the thing: is I don't know about home economics because I didn't take that because I wasn't a girl. But what I'm saying is, for the guys, it's a really good source material, meaning even though they'll teach you how to fix something even if you don't care to, and same thing with carpentry, and that's what I miss. It's
Mhm.
like it's something that every guy should know a little bit of.
You are showing us what we already know about Western women, but they exist here too, King B. And you all want to be the man and woman in the relationship. It's not normal. Actually, it is if the man aren't being men. 80s, maybe. But once you got into the 90s and 2000s and on, the men don't want to be men either. Sometimes women like me had to be because the men weren't mature enough. And then you can go on and say, whoa, you didn't marry the right person. You're correct. If the man will be the man and the roles are where they are, then I won't have to be both and wouldn't had to be for a long time. So unfortunately, some men marry women based on that, and then you just have to know your role. Every person fits together like a key. If the men were doing what they were supposed to, then the women do, then maybe it all fit in. Then you got men that don't want any responsibilities. They want someone to come through and do that. Each person knows when they start dating that woman, or vice versa, the man, what's actually going on. And we all don't fit in there, but um, it's I'm sorry. If I mean, I was telling George even earlier today, if men were doing their thing, then we're not talking about a man who loses his job and this and that wasn't trying. I was in a relationship where for 7 years the guy didn't work, didn't try to get a job, couldn't do anything, and it was highly unfair. Wasn't doing anything at home, nothing. So when you get to be like that, then I had to for a long time. I had to do everything, take control, make sure the bills were paid. He didn't even pay the bills. Period. He didn't even take the time while I was at work to actually even pay the bill. So you come home to a guy that's doing nothing, including barely taking care of the kids, then that's a problem. So you kind of put yourself in that situation. So it's kind of like the same of not putting all Filipinos in that one box. You can't do the same. Everybody has their own unique story of why they're doing that. So it's and then when I was in another relationship, he was working all those years, but he worked so much he was never home. Who do you think's taking care of the house and had to be man and be the man and woman at the same time? If he's gone 14 hours a day and then he was gone on the road all the time, that's fine. The woman role fit for me. See what it is I feel a lot of you guys, men from America are talking about this are not giving the women enough credit. You're not giving us enough credit. Old dog talking about his ex-lady. Sunshine Shoulders talking about his ex-lady. He didn't say what she did do for him all those years, raising the kids, cooking, cleaning, probably doing all the roles, why these guys are out with things that are going bad. It's about supporting each other and the breakdown of the support over the years. That's what's going on. That is the truth. So you can't, I mean, unfortunately, some of us had to step up. Yeah, it's just where it is. And that's the way it should be. Each side, it's no longer that society anymore. And I did tell George it's a lot of guys that are over the age of 50 that has these feelings. You're not going to find anybody in their 30s with that feeling. Matter of fact, the men are not even men right now that are 30. Sorry. The men have lost their way. The way the society is broke down is what men probably under the age of 40. It's just it's crazy out there now. The ideal of the marriages and everything's just kind of flipped upside down.
Well, I mean,
But I do feel it's individually based. I've been in different marriages, and even when I had full support and money, he was never around. So, who was going to be both father and mother to the kids that we had? Who was going to protect the house when he was gone weeks at a time? It was me. My dad wasn't around. My dad wasn't around when we grew up. My mom took care of stuff. We were just raised so different in the 80s and 70s. It's just everybody's had to do. And then some are either about it or not. I cook for George. I clean. I bring things to him. I bring him his drinks. And then there are days where I have to say, hey, George, get it yourself. There's just some points. And then, especially if we're fighting, then we're just totally like where it doesn't happen. So, and a lot of you guys feel that I should continue. But if he's nowhere around and he's at his family house, I'm not taking care of him. He's somewhere else. It's just where it is. All the roles break down at some point.
Yeah, more fun in the Philippines makes a good point. If you don't have a plan B, you're screwed.
You could have a plan B and still be screwed, but mostly you do. And a lot of these guys, this Australian guy Kelly only had $500 or $600 in the bank, and a lot of y'all don't even have that when you arrive. So,
Right,
but he
that's-
already
yeah.
spent it. The first bill that came up, he spent it. And to a Filipino to have 30,000 pesos, that'd be a lot of money if they had that in the bank right now. So it's hard to save. But I think about if he's in Australia, things might have been really bad. A lot of the men coming here don't even have a plan being in their country. It's, it's a lot of risk coming. And I don't think people make enough plans for that. I want a man that will buy me chocolate, right? Laura's pretty simple.
Isn't that so?
I don't know. One day you'll see why God made you wait. Yep. I just want a woman who can put up with your bullshit and make you a sandwich. Make you a bullshit sandwich. My sister went lots of concerts, but me kind of limited on the experience. They are not mature enough to be married, nothing in common with the man. And that can break down quick, especially with the age gap. So that's a good point. Very good point. When they really have nothing in common, they get out in the province and you get bored. You guys don't realize a lot of guys think they can just get on the plane, get here, get on the bus, the trikes, and get way out in the middle of nowhere. And then they realize they're stuck out there. I'm in the city and I have George do a lot of things for me. And to get around even in the city to me could be a hassle. I couldn't. Oh, look at Pigsy, babe. See her sleeping.
Now,
But yeah, I mean, but if they have if they have nothing in common and then they get out in the middle of nowhere, that's really bad.
well, see, here's the thing. I'm just gonna touch on this real quick. The thing is, somebody says transactional relationships are bad. Yes and no, depending on the transactional relationship. If it's a diluted transactional relationship, it's bad. What am I mean by that? What I mean is, if you think that there's actually love between you guys and there really isn't, then that's bad. What I'm saying is, I know a lot of guys get a lot of flack, or bar girls get a lot of flack for, for the guy taking the bar girl out and go out, have fun for the night, which is a transaction and it's a relationship, whether you guys admit or not. The reality is, a barmaid being bar fined is a transactional relationship, regardless of how you think. But that's an honest transactional relationship. What it means is it's healthier than one that you're in it and you aren't aware that it's a transactional relationship. You're just fooling yourself. That's worse. You guys get my drift? At least if you're bar finding a girl out, it ends there. The buck ends there. You're
Right,
not being
know-
scammed
yeah, right,
anymore.
know what you're
You're
after,
not
yeah.
correct. Thank you. It's
You
right there in
could-
front of you.
You could, if you budget it right, and you're not like going crazy and spending a couple $100 a night, you could get your girl and do it a few times a week.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you guys
Literally get
in
your
your
rocks off.
60s
Yes.
are not banging every night like these guys all. I'm sorry, I mean,
Or eat
what-
sushi. That's up to
right,
you.
do it twice a week, yeah, or something, and spend
And it
your
still ends up
$100.
cheaper
Mhm,
than actually in a diluted
like building her
transactional
house,
relationship.
having a bunch of kids. Yeah, because you're pretty much giving her everything that she wants. If you're not prepared
Right,
to
she-
ride or die,
Right.
have that kid, marry her, and take her back to America, no matter what the YouTube world is saying, then just
Right.
live
That's
your
at
life
least
of
it's an
lock from,
honest transactional
go
relationship.
once a week. Do
You
your
get
thing.
what you want. She gets what she wants. The end.
Some of these guys just ride around and pick up these 1,000 peso chicks and take them back, buy them
Right.
breakfast, and they've been joking on TikTok here lately about the food stamp things and picking up single mothers for some gift cards and some McDonald's or something. Yeah. I mean, if that's, know your worth and what's going on
Correct.
before you put yourself, because it's happening a lot. I said, "Oh, we got to cover a live stream on this. It's 3 guys in a short period of time, and all of them had their shit ripped up, taken, and everything else. How about that guy that came, gave a bunch of money, got into the condo in Cebu that what's his name had on, but the woman had like 6 kids. She was married, the husband was in there, and everything. It was crazy. And he ended up moving into a bigger place. All the family followed him over and all that. And in the end, he left all of his shit, had to jump out the window and run with another expat. It was that bad. There had to be some sort of signs. The sign was all those kids holding on to her all the time. Them kids had to be all over her. But open your eyes. So yeah, Scott said become a member. Yeah, there's a bunch
Oh,
of
thanks so much,
content
Scott. Yes.
and there's all kinds of it for, and I think we're running the holiday thing, or we called it something, but yeah, it's like less than $2 for the lowest thing, and you guys can see all the extra videos, a lot of them from Mexico and stuff.
Yeah, so Hawkma says it's true, it's a myth. They're talking about that Filipino women won't go for older guys. Now here's the thing, another different
Yeah, he put
thing
Mentos in there,
is
Victoria.
when the right way to have a kabit or have a sideline chick here in the Philippines is all the parties know. That's the right way to do it. And the reason why I say that is because that's when it becomes blackmail material if you don't. What I'm getting at is, for the most part, everybody knows that they're a kabit, that they're married, and the wife knows that he has a kabit and whatever. And guess what? It's this is a transactional relationship too, mind you, and everybody accepts it, and that's it. The end. It's kind of like
Don't remind me.
it
My
is what it
notes.
is. You know.
Yeah, More Fun in the Philippines was saying he's been with a girl for 6 months and she's already got a new baby. Yeah, calculate those months because it's
Oh,
same in America.
yeah,
But
I know what he's talking about.
yeah, donut time. Yeah, I drove my mom nuts with bad girls. Toot toot. She broke my record minus MJ.
Aw.
Johnny Cash, very good singer. Yeah. Heidi, they have these height restrictions in America. That is true. Now, I will say that women do put on, yeah, they'll be like, I only date this, I only date that. I was told by black women that you're too short. I've heard that yet in my 3+ years. Honestly, I like tall guys and heavier because I've always been big and heavy. I don't go by. I have my limit. Like men have their limit on weight. I told George, I said I wouldn't date a guy that's really overweight and wouldn't this. And everybody has where they're actually at. But yeah, I was surprised with George being small and Asian, and it's no, it was more about personality
I
and
get
how you
that a lot.
present yourself.
I'm not surprised.
Right. So, but you're not bad looking. Now that I'm here in Asia, I'm lucky. Like you said, I'm lucky to actually have you. I just could not imagine dating another Filipino. I mean, sorry. Yeah, you're
And
way
again,
different.
English is not a common language. It is, but it's not.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's kind of everybody has their own, but I probably in a million years I would just stay single. There's no
Yeah.
way if George got in a motorcycle accident at Christmas time that
Yeah, what brought that up is, again, like Mary just
that I would move on.
just got groomed, and I read their ad. It's all in English, but the guy that they sent over
Thanks,
could barely
ugly
speak
tourist.
any English, if he did at all. So
Yeah.
just watch out, guys. It doesn't mean that their ad is in English. It doesn't mean they can speak English.
Yeah,
Just
for
saying.
me, height's not a problem. The only thing I have is some guys won't date heavy set women, and even though I'm heavy, I know it's weird. I don't know. I guess I admitted that before. Yeah, some don't mind if they're too skinny. I'm not all about the guys you can't hold
Okay,
on to either.
skinny. I've been with a lot of skinny women. I never liked it because I feel like I could crush them because I can feel every single bone.
Yeah,
It's just one of them. I don't know. I guess I've had my fill with skinny women.
you're gonna wear a man bun.
No, no.
Yeah, guys, do the thumbs up and make sure if you're not subscribed, you subscribe. And making the comments and joining us in the conversation sure helps us a lot. If you guys, we love the support when you guys do stickers. Everything we make goes right back into the
Aw.
channel. As a matter of fact, I just calculated, including the internet with the apps we use. We probably spend about $80 a month worth of apps we use, like stuff through Google storage. We store our videos and different things that we record because we're always recording. We just don't put the content out. And then the other part goes right into the cats. So, and then
Yeah.
any stickers or bonuses, guys. So we appreciate it.
More fun in the Philippines says that his half Chinese, half Filipino baby is watching George on the screen. That's what he says.
Ooh, look at you. Yeah, the waits are really long in Manila. Here's the thing, isn't it even in some private hospitals? They still got to go do all some of the extra, don't they? Or do they bring the blood to them at all private hospitals? I don't think so. I think some of the things they do in the province ones or the
Well, normally
government.
Normally you need a runner. It's rare that you don't.
Yeah, except for certain hospitals. Like they got the one in Manila.
And they have to be specific hospitals too. Like I said, literally very specific hospitals don't.
What about AU? You think they have somebody go get the blood? Or do they make the runner or their family go pick up the blood?
Now, the thing about AU is they, for the most part, you don't need a runner for the medicine that they have there, at least. But I don't know about the blood part. I honestly can't answer that because I don't know.
Yeah, King B was like, my Filipina just had our son. The C-section bill was 36,000
That's about right.
pesos. Yeah,
That's about
yeah.
right.
Yeah, definitely under 1,000. Yeah, compared to the U.S., God, the money and the bill cost and medical is just astronomical. And our son's bill was 5,000 pesos. Wow. Yeah, way cheaper. Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird. They're playing them not only interrupting, but now they're running them all around it. Could be cat hair. It could be. I do take an allergy pill every day. We've been taking an allergy pill, so cheaters never prosper. Sometimes they do somehow.
I was gonna say
these days.
sometimes they do.
Some of them will play the full round. Somebody was saying earlier, it might have been something I read here or in the comments. They talk about these Filipinas here are really good about running multi-men. They date expat men and they've got a husband somewhere. So they get put up in a place and get it paid for. And you guys understand, they're players here that live here. They got the Korean guys, the Japanese guys. They don't mind putting the money up to put their chicks up. And they have a full family back in another country. Isn't it the Japanese and Koreans are really famous for the Filipinos?
There's some other, Western countries do that too.
What are you talking about, Willie? You talking about Canadians that do the same? Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying famously, is it not the Korean men? I've heard about a whole gang of shit about that. I can look up further to find out more, but as to my understanding, is it the Koreans or the Japanese guys that are really famous for putting Filipinas up in condos?
My guess
It's
would be
cheaper.
Koreans.
Okay.
My guess would be Koreans.
I had read a whole Reddit and something where it just goes on and on. It's probably the Koreans.
It's probably the Koreans.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't say Chinese is because Chinese are so close knit. If you do that, you'll get busted.
Some of the Chinese said, I seen Luchin today.
Yeah.
He was with a Filipina. What? I'm gonna show pow him right between the nuts.
Chinese, the culture is very, very close knit. Yes, more worse than Filipinos.
The population grew in the United States, and they didn't have room for home economics. Yes, you were talking about that earlier. Yeah. Some people can't stand being alone, so they rush into relationships. Yeah. Well, I know I am. I know I'm a lovey-dovey person. I don't believe in just being boyfriend and girlfriend forever. I've always been a married person, always taking care of a house. I'm not going to sit around and just live in a separate place and date somebody or, move in together and never be married. That's just me. But some of these people are rushing pretty quick. Within 6 months, I've always married. So, and not George. How long did you make me wait? 2 years? How long before marriage? About 2 years in, 18 months?
Oh, you're talking about 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
So, yeah. Which I understand. We were up there in age. John Smith says you're not tough. No, I'm not. I have a very soft side, more than you guys know. So I would agree. You've already heard me say my stuff. I will protect myself. I will protect my family, and I will gut you like a fish tomorrow. I'm telling you that right now. Fact.
Shekels.
But I'm also a very soft person. So
Shekels TV says he needs that stimulus check tomorrow.
Right? You guys can forget about that stimulus check. Just eat all Filipino food. You will save money and you'll be rich. Sure. That'll do it. Bees in the trap. Bees, bees. That's how I caught George with the little honey. Men are pretty simple. Feed, suck, feed,
Well, here's the thing.
repeat.
I did see that earlier, but just real quick, it depends on where you eat.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, for example, remember I told you guys I went to the bar, right? And I ordered lechon kawali. Lechon kawali, it cost me like 500 pesos. If I bought that anywhere else, it would have cost me 100 pesos. Get it? So it's a
It
question
depends.
of where you eat.
Well, here's the thing. I was watching where they said the swine flu came back around again, and it said 12 shops in one small area had shut down. I was like, why is there so many of those shops in one area where they're selling lechon? And I'm like, that's the Philippines too. You can see 5 shops next to each other selling the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You
yeah.
open a business, someone else is going to open
Well,
one next to you in
and they
about a
usually
week.
get all the meat from the same source. Yes.
Yeah. So, well,
But
that
yeah,
I
so it
understand.
depends on where you get your food from, of course. Actually,
My new girlfriend didn't cheat. Been 6 months already. Met her with my friends here.
right. So for example, here's an example. If you're a retired Filipino, keyword retired, and you eat McDonald's every day, not that I'm saying you should, because that's not healthy. It's cheaper than buying Carinderia because basically like say a chicken meal, okay, which is basically fried chicken and rice and whatever, costs it's like 60 pesos with your what do you call that? Senior discount. And guess what? When you buy Carinderia off the street, it's 80 pesos. So where what would you rather eat? The street food that's 20 pesos more or McDonald's? You don't my point is it depends on the situation, you know. I'm not retired, so I don't get that discount, unfortunately.
Let's see. Why don't these women go abroad to work, save money, and make a life for yourself? They
It's not that
do.
easy.
But
It's
they
not that
do. The
easy.
ones that can, it's hard to get the paperwork, and they usually get, there's a big portion that gets stuck in those scam call centers that mistreat them, and they get mistreated as housekeepers overseas, and the money is not always good. They
Well,
do. I
and
mean,
and
people do improve their lives.
and
That's most of them.
a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of Filipinos get scammed on a regular basis. What I mean is
Hey,
illegal
good
recruiters.
morning,
There's something called illegal
Bookum Dano
recruiters
in the
here.
house.
So what an illegal recruiter does, of course, they're not going to advertise their illegal recruiters. They're going to be like, "Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy social.
I'm gonna offer you a job in Saudi Arabia. Fill out this form, yada yada yada. But there's a processing fee. There's these fees, whatever.
And that's if they can get their
Right,
passports and
and
get
then they're
out.
gonna have somebody who really did have a job from abroad, and they'll vouch for it. But in the end, it's all a sham. It's fake, and they
Hmm.
dish out like 30,000 pesos, 40,000 pesos for the fees and whatever. And to get this money, they had to borrow from all their relatives
Thank
and they
you.
get scammed. And this is a
Hmm.
regular thing that
Right,
happens.
and they'll pay out those fees too. Yeah, like
Yes,
you
they
said,
will.
they.
They'll pay out those
Hmm.
fees, and it's all a sham. And here's the sad part: to make things worse, that recruiter sometimes don't know they're illegal recruiters.
Hmm.
They're victims themselves. They're because remember who they're going to recruit: their friends and families and whatever.
I keep seeing they're posting these all the time on expat forums, which I
Right?
don't get it. And I've seen the Mabalacat City and Angeles City themselves repost these jobs.
Yeah,
There's a good chance they were a scam to begin with,
yeah. A
but
lot
they're
of these are
reposting
scams.
so it
Yeah.
looks legit coming from the city. And these days with AI hiding things and how they can produce what looks like documents, I don't know how anybody trusts anything. We were talking about, I don't think it was a Twilight Zone. It was the other show, Tales from the Crypt, where the guy was going house to house selling insurance. Shit, back in the 70s and 80s, if you brought a document that could have been faked by a copy
As long
machine,
as they look official.
yeah, you could sell the insurance. The guy was getting 40, $50 out of people, and they're like, oh, wow, I'm going to get $200,000 for my family. People would let people sit down back in the day,
Yeah.
and they would give up that 40, $50 where they thought they were protecting their family. And these guys would go around out in the country and they would sell this stuff, or sometimes in the cities. But I'm like, back then it was easy, really easy to scam people. But now it's a flip side. You would think people would be smarter, but with the AI documents and how now everybody knows how to use Canva, where 5 years ago people weren't doing very well with it. Now you can produce anything that looks legit like we used to do back in the 2000s. You had, only business people used to use that stuff. Now everybody can do it. Now the scammers are using that. They're scamming people. So, yeah, all of it looks legit. The Filipinos really want a better life for their family. And then on top of the life they're going through, bam. Yeah, it's really rough.
Yeah, and then also you have to remember too that sometimes they like require, okay, we're gonna need you to get an NVI clearance, yada yada yada, and then you go get your. And what I'm saying in your head are like, well, they're asking me to get an NVI clearance, so it must be legit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Shekel.
So what I'm saying is, if they're asking you to get official documents, your normal instinct would be, oh, it must be real because They're asking me to get real documents.
Shekel said hi.
You get, you get my point. But remember, the legal recruitment business is a long-standing illegal business. No, I did say Shekels earlier. Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, baby Grace needs baptized. Yeah, I think we all need baptized. Bye bye. Second wind, take care. He must have been heading out. My school sent boys and girls the home ec. Yeah, they made us take shop and everything else. They're just not doing that anymore. Now, I was telling George something that just came up in the news, and I'll have to check because people are faking the news all the time. Is they said they're removing the 11th and 12th grade here. Did you ever check to see if that was legit?
I'm not buying that.
Yeah, it seems
They're actually extending it.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay. Did you look that up? That came from one of the government pages. But again,
There's a lot of fake ones.
Well, so you did look that up?
Well, I know they're extending it, not.
You mean, in other words, 2 extra years of schooling, not removing it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the opposite. If they're saying the opposite, I don't think.
Well, the people's comments were saying that it was going to help somehow, some way, but to remove 2 years of schooling here, plus all the school that they missed, that would be kind of, yeah, baby watching you, yeah. Men and women are individuals learning about the one you picked and help serve, love the individuals. She's mixed Chinese and Filipino, looks like mommy. Aww. Women don't know how to raise men with all these single mothers. You're going to have more crappy men. Oh, jeez, yeah. Hey, never. It doesn't mean because they're doing it, they know how to do it. So.
Oh, Victoria says, Heidi George, I was propositioned by a rich Japanese man who was old, married, also had a concubine, and wanted to wine and dine me plus extras. And I said, I don't think so. Yuck.
Told George if the ship ever goes down with Social Security and we go broke, I'm just going to go up there and just do dominatrix. What do you call the dominatrix? And I'm just going to gather a bunch of Japanese and Korean guys. I'll whoop the tar out of them for $5.
Oh, that's another
Say
thing.
$5, I'll kick you.
That's another thing. Off the
And
topic.
I'll let my man watch.
Off the topic of illegal recruitment.
Hey, George, you'll be the watcher?
Yes, okay.
Don't they like people watching, like Diddy and stuff? He like to watch his
Voyeurism?
woman.
Yeah.
So we'll let George watch. We'll say that's for free, and we'll charge him $5 and line him up all day long and still make a killing.
Yeah, now this is also another real thing. Now,
Barfly.
there's illegal recruitment that,
That's
again,
true,
you pay
Laura.
for a lot of money and then they don't leave. But what's worse is what I would call legal slavery, where they send Filipino women as housemaids to Middle
Mhm.
Eastern men and they end up as slaves.
Yeah, they never let
Not-
them out.
not
Take
just
their passport.
Middle East, including London. They do that in
Other
London
countries,
too.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
in Britain
sure, it's
rather.
really
That's what I meant.
bad, yeah.
And they have these organizations that literally go out and rescue Filipino women and get them out of these homes, and so they can repatriate them. So no, it's sad. I mean, in Britain, for crying out loud, in Britain.
Right. Ugly Taurus says every relationship is transactional in some form or another. Both parties are giving something and getting something, or else neither would be happy. It isn't always about money.
Yeah, no, it's give and take. Yes, I get it, but
Yeah, but not
for them,
every. Because think about
well,
us. When we met, what would have been transactional? I had my own house, my own car, my own money, my own credit cards. You had your own business, lots of cars.
it's give and take. That's what he's saying. It's give and take. He said not about money. But what I'm saying is, in the ones we're talking about
Yeah, in
today,
one form or
it's
another. But I'm trying to
mostly
figure what.
transactional.
Right, but it doesn't have to be money in one form or another. What would it have been with us?
Love is transactional. Love is a give and take.
Yeah, I guess so. But relationship and love is just wondering. Besides that, I mean, I guess yeah. Whether it's giving out full love or not, I mean, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, George, let's not talk about our relationship.
Well, I mean, it's anyway.
And I wouldn't even say that in the beginning. For the first 6 months, you made it very clear that's not what it was about. You were fighting me tooth and nail in the beginning. You said that the relationship was not determined, blah, blah, blah. You talked about that in this. So I wouldn't say it was
No, no, no,
love.
no, 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 no. That's different. That's called it a type. The type of relationship.
Gotcha.
I'm very specific.
Yeah. George, how did you end up in the U.S.?
Oh, my uncle was a U.S. Navy, so which is my dad's brother, and my actually no,
So they went to
not my
America first?
uncle, not my uncle. Well, my uncle is that's why I mentioned my uncle. I forgot, but the source is actually my grandfather. My grandfather was U.S. Navy. That's where I was coming from. My basically the Filipino side are U.S. Navy, and that's where they're from.
And then
Yeah,
they had the means and the ability to go over there.
yeah.
Cheaters never prosper. Have you ever noticed 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Right. Dun, 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 phew. You talking about the White House, babe?
Oh, is that what that reference was?
Yes, it's the White House. Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. I saw the 1600. I didn't see the
Release the
Pennsylvania.
goddamn files.
'Cause
And
wh-
actually, would it make a difference if they do? I mean, what are they really going to do? Those are like them people like, all right, let me go. Let me go. I'll bust her teeth out. Let her go and see if she actually does it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like people keep saying, but what are they really going to do if they do release that? So a bunch of billionaires that can afford attorneys are just going to take care of business. So what I'm saying is, what they're really going to fire people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just where it is, in my opinion.
Well, and that's not how it works anyway. I mean, there's a lot of things that don't work out the way we want them
People
to.
are so busy talking about it needs to be released. I want to know what is really going to become the outcome.
Nothing.
Then from there, even if the names are all on there, who they think is on there, then what are they going to do? Nothing else that's being done is not bad enough. So it's kind of where it is. Marriage on paper is contractual and transactional. Old men and age relationships is transactional. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I need that stimulus check. Yeah, that stimulus check's not coming. I'm telling you, although he's saying it's another distraction like the war up and coming, where all the people are positioned, it's not coming. And if the audios that are being released right now, he just said next year. So next Christmas if he's going to do it. He's not going to do it anytime soon. So yeah. Because I'm gonna pimp our ride out there if we get that money. I'm gonna pimp the ride and paint it Pepto Bismol pink and put some tailpipe stuff on there and some stripes and everything else. What do you think? With the Pepto Mobile. I'm gonna paint your car pink. I'm gonna get it wrapped.
Oh
in
my
pink.
gosh, you just reminded me of Mary Kate Pink. Remember those Mary Kate cards?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You'd probably let me wrap that in pink too.
No,
No?
no,
How about baby blue?
no.
Can I wrap it, period?
Yeah,
What color? Purple?
no.
You see, that's it. You guys think I run what's going on here. George fights me tooth and nail. I'm telling you. I one time talked about the purple you see here. I talked about putting the walls in purple.
Oh,
He said, "Hell no, I want purple." He said,
Shekels
"Nope."
TV says I'm also 5 minutes from Jollibee and McDonald's, but I don't eat there anymore. More Fun says also I'm 5 minutes from McDonald's and 7-Eleven. See, okay, the problem with 7-Eleven, it's overpriced crap. It really is. And I don't mean as in their I'm not talking about
Cheaper
their
than it is in America,
right.
but
Well,
it's
that's what I
still
mean.
here. It is.
I'm not talking about their products, as in their cokes or anything like that. I'm talking about their food, like their fried chicken. If you're gonna buy fried chicken from 7-Eleven, buy it from a real restaurant. I'm just saying, because you're paying the same thing.
Yeah,
It's
that is true.
it's not like
Really expensive to get
in the
fried
U.S.
chicken from McDonald's.
If you eat like a
Yes,
hot
it's
dog there, you're paying a 7-Eleven hot dog price. Here you eat a hot dog here, you're might as well bought a real hot dog from a real hot dog joint. You get my point?
Mhm.
It's not the same value.
Yeah, that's where you guys were talking about that. Yeah. I've seen many videos about the Middle Eastern men mistreating
Oh yeah,
many of the Filipinos. Yeah, very badly. Some, yeah, have RP'd them. Yeah, most definitely.
yeah. It's what I
And
call
then when they
yeah,
complain to the wives, yeah, they
and they
either
don't pay
off
them.
them,
They don't
dump
pay them.
them,
It's
and
legal slavery. Yeah.
they hold their passports. Yeah. Buddha Buddha said, wrap it in tin foil, right? Stop the mind control waves, right? All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We appreciate everybody being in here. So, like I said, George is taking pets to on Wednesday. So, it'll be me doing a live. Maybe I'll just come in and be nice all by myself. Yeah, I still need George to push me on that. Thank you, Victoria, for your generosity and the people that have been supporting the channel, that have been contacting us. And we appreciate everybody being in here. So
Yeah.
don't forget to like and subscribe and do a thumbs up on this.
Oh, did they get rid of it?
Fan funding, or are you talking about the
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks so much.
top fans?
Our top fans of today is Victoria, Budaboo, Second Win. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you so much. Love you all. Thank you for
You
being
guys
with
want to give
us
to the
and
coffee
moderating.
and
Scott
George's.
and Isa's
We're gonna
world.
get that motorcycle for George.
What?
Hashtag make Heidi single again, or pound Heidi single again.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, we used to use the pound sign before the hashtag. So pound hashtag Heidi single again. Get George's motorcycle for Christmas. Hashtag pound
What?
pound pound Heidi single again. Pound single George again.
Love you all. Thanks so much, guys.
All right,
Bye.
guys. Talk to you guys later.